Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 371st episode of the Geek podcast. And boy, this is the reason why this podcast started for nights like tonight. I am Mr. Eggnog Trasnell, and I'm joined by, let's go in alphabetical order.
Oh no,
If you're going in
I don't know my
alphabetical order,
alphabet.
then that doesn't make sense because you shouldn't be going first. It would be
I opened the
Kirklin.
show.
It'd be Kirklin, then me, and then you, because my second letter is an A and your
We're
second letter is
going
an
the
R.
opposite alphabetical order then, like drunk driving alphabetical
Yeah.
order, where you go Z to A.
Like in Jingle All the Way, backwards.
Then
So backwards. Who's next?
I am the acolyte, Taylor Field.
Remember Joaquin Phoenix when Zazie Beetz and Joker does like the little like shoots herself in the head, and then Joaquin Phoenix like does it really over dramatic where he's like, that's me right now at Taylor Field. And I'm joined by
Your friendly neighborhood caster, Kirklin Patzer.
rounding out the GV3 here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a big day. We are about to break down the Disney Investors Call. We have huge announcements from Star Wars, Marvel, Disney, Pixar. We're going to break it all down. But before we get into that, Taylor Field, where can they find us on the interwebs?
Ladies and gentlemen, you can find us with your internet connection. Geekverse.ca is our home base. Check us out on our social media. Check us out especially on Instagram because we're popping off there. And we have lots of content that we're sharing all our casts on there. And we're also on Twitter, GeekverseCast. You can follow us on there. And then we're also on Facebook at Geekverse. On Facebook, especially on Facebook, we have our fan base poll popping off right now. We are in the semifinals. Right now, it is Master Chief versus Darth Malak. And Darth Malak has the lead. And then tomorrow, it will be Spider-Man versus Altair. So I can't believe Assassin's Creed got to the semifinals. That's actually legendary. But
You know why.
yeah. So that'll be spicy. But it's yeah. Poll changes 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time every day.
There you go. And then down below is all the details. So just go look at that. That's where to find us on social media, like Tara's just talking about, all the other podcasts, and especially on Patreon. We did it already. We still got to do our After 9, but right now we get 3 exclusive episodes every month. Our goal is trying to do a retrospective, a commentary track, and then the After 9, the show where you can call in. But you can go there. Just a whole bunch of different tiers and perks and benefits. And yeah, if you support us, we greatly appreciate it because you guys help build up this network and whatnot. You can check out our podcast network, which is 7 days a week, 10 shows, tons of stuff popping out there. I'm going to be talking Marvel with me and Chris, along with Brent and Travis Hines also guest on. We did Marvel Alliance to break down some Marvel news. So if you want to hear from them, who's some hardcore Marvel comic book fans talking about some stuff, that's a really good episode. But they're all going to be live at the same time, so you can listen to that, then listen to this, or back and forth. We got tons of stuff popping off, and then there will be a Mandalorian review. It's the penultimate episode coming up now for this season. So it'll be in the next 48 hours. It all depends if Kirkland falls asleep or not when we get it to you, but we'll see. But no, ladies and gentlemen, this is a big day. So the Disney's investor call happened. It was an investor call, but it was more like a presentation. So this went over a bunch of stuff. So we're going to do Star Wars, Disney, Pixar, then Marvel. I want to start with a broad topic as far as what they introduced at the beginning of this. So if you have Disney Plus, when you open up, you see all the brands. It's like Marvel, Pixar, Disney, etc. For international people, because in America it's going to be Hulu, but for international, we're getting something for a couple more dollars called Disney Star or Star Plus or whatever it is. And what this is going to be a tab that opens up, and it's including all the Fox / kind of like radar mature movies. We had heard rumors about this, but this is going to be a tier that you can set a mature audiences for. You can, make sure there's password, everything like that. So also we had heard these rumors, but what do you guys think about this for us? Disney Plus, it's happening February 23rd, officially, that we're going to be able to have Disney Star, and it's going to be, you got your aliens there. You got everything, Logan, Deadpool, like just everything we said, could you put that on Disney Plus? It's there, password protected. So Kirk, what do you think about that? I think it's pretty exciting to see. Yeah, Disney Plus is going up a little bit, but I feel like it's kind of warranted with this whole back catalog we're getting.
No, absolutely. I think it's definitely like I'm going to be getting my money's worth big time out of this. I'm definitely going to be getting this as soon as I can. Just for like all those TV series that have been on Hulu or just movies that have been on there that I've never really been able to watch. And to get R-rated, stuff on Disney Plus, I remember that's always kind of been a discussion that we've had around this app. Like, how long can they just keep it for kids and like full family audiences? Because, when you get stuff like Deadpool now owned by Disney, like, people are going to be calling for that on Disney Plus. So this is really exciting. I didn't think this was going to happen like quite, around this time. I was really expecting everything that we're going to be talking about today, pretty much. But
Mhm.
yeah, no, I'm so excited for this. Yeah, I'm just so pumped.
Taylor Field.
Yeah, I am ecstatic for it. I think it's a sweet frickin' deal. Netflix has not been my favorite streaming service lately. I feel like every time I go on there, every time, which is daily, I just see that message pop up like, "Oh, reminder, we're bumping up the price to $15. $15 a month." And
And
it's
Taylor also
just
gives us the daily reminder how much he fucking hates it too.
That's true, 100%.
it's bogus. Well, why am I paying $15 for just rehashed content when I got Disney Plus over here for what, like $7.99 a month? Oh my good lord, that's just perfect. And then like if this price for stars does indeed go to, let's say, $10 a month, I mean, I can't even fathom that to get everything that I already have. In addition to that, my Alien series that I am just flabbergasted about, everything that was on like Fox TV. I can finally dive into American Horror Story, which I've only not really dabbled in. There's a bunch of other series
Out
that I
of
can get
all
in.
the things, Taylor Field wants to dabble in American Horror Story,
I hear
huh?
good things, so I feel like I
Where are
should
you
hop on
hearing
that.
that from?
I hear
Is
from
the
you.
question. Mm-mm, mm.
Yeah, I
I,
got him.
I
He's biting his words.
no. I've always said season one incredible. The rest of the seasons they start really good. In the middle they get meandering, and then you're like, where did this go? But if you really like horror and like if you like sex stuff, like sex scenes and like kinks and stuff, that show's for you. But I don't know.
So have you watched every season, every episode?
Yes, I have. I hate watch it all the time. Like I watch, I'm like, why am I still watching this? I watched Nurse Ratched. I watch that, like all of it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's definitely on the list. There's a few other shows that are definitely on my list that I'm excited to get into, but it's just, again, this is a hell of a deal. I feel bad that the states are not getting this, but
They got Hulu, which is kind of the equivalent, but hey, we got to get something, right? You
we
know,
gotta
like
get something. Now, does this include all the sports? Because they said there is Stars Plus, which I don't understand where Stars Plus is. If that's like other countries, because we're just getting Stars.
I think it's other countries because they were saying like ESPN. We don't get ESPN here, so I think that
Mhm.
was other countries. 'Cause remember they're talking a lot about India and stuff like that. Like that's a big market, so I think that's other countries. Hey, if they added sports subscription on there somehow, I would definitely get it because I already pay for DAZN for football. But yeah, I think that's other countries. So, and then the other thing they announced is that they're at what is it, 86.8 million subscribers in just 1 year. So pretty good. And we were
Wow.
talking about some Marvel Alliance. Like, if you think about like they've had Hamilton, Mandalorian, but like that's just like the prelude. Like they haven't even done Marvel stuff. They haven't even done like
Yeah.
like tons of Star Wars stuff. So it's just like crazy. And I think they're projecting in 4 years to be beating Netflix. I think it's gonna be a lot quicker than 4 years. I'm not gonna say beating, but at least at the same number count. This was I think they wanted like 50 million after their first year, and they've like went past that almost by 40 million, their projection. So I would not put it like I said, WandaVision's gonna be huge. We're gonna get into that, but like yeah, so obviously 86 point million, pretty good achievement.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's crazy. And you can only imagine it's going to keep growing and growing with all these extra things, like Stars or whatever the Stars Plus thing is. I'm so excited to finally be able to watch Atlanta. Oh my gosh.
I know it's
Is
gonna
that-
be there was so much stuff on there,
yeah.
like
Oh
Sons of
yeah.
Anarchy, the Emily's Orange, but it's just gonna be so weird on Disney Plus where I can watch like some
Yeah.
guy like, do a bunch of coke and bang a hooker, and then I can go watch Pixar's Up on the same subscription, It's just like but it's a smart move if you want to. I think
It's a
Disney Plus
smart
was
move.
it is because I think Disney Plus it's already massive, right? With what they have, the
Mhm.
families, they are a massive brand. But if they do want to be the number one, Netflix does have that. At least like they got some mature content. So there's gonna always be some people that go, like let's say people that say I'm never gonna have kids, I'm not a Disney fan. There are those people out there. Now it's like, oh, they have all that stuff. It's like,
Yeah.
how can you not? And then you're gonna be getting these big shows like what did they announce? They announced 10 new Star Wars shows, and we didn't even learn all of them today, but 10 new Star Wars shows, 10 new Marvel shows, and 15 new Star Wars or Pixar Disney shows / movies. They're making movies specifically for the app. So just some
Yeah.
really good stuff.
That's I mean all of what you just said. I mean, I already know in my immediate social circle, like I have a lot of friends that pretty much just get Mandalorian for like 1 month, or sorry, they only get Disney Plus for 1 month to just binge Mandalorian after the show's done, and then like that's kind of what they use the app for. So I feel like there's just gonna be so much more incentive for people to actually get the yearly, subscription to this app when you get all this bonus content. It's not just for families. It's not just for people that want to watch like old Disney movies. Like it's just such a smart move, and I'm just still dumbfounded that it's actually happening. This is crazy.
Travis, you said that we didn't learn all the Star Wars projects, all 10 of them, but I think we did because I can count 10.
Did we?
Yeah, we
Oh,
got.
maybe I saw it wrong. That
we
someone
got-
said there was still like 3 left or something.
Well, there's Acolyte, there's Ahsoka, there's Rangers of the Republic, Andor series, Lando, High Republic, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Rogue Squadron, and then we have Visions.
You're wrong.
Visions,
High
and then the Bad
Republic
Batch.
with Acolyte. It's not the
No,
same
those
thing.
those are separate.
But
Oh.
you're also wrong. Squadrons isn't a series.
But no, they didn't say series. They said 10
They did.
Star Wars
No, they
projects.
didn't.
I'm pretty
No,
sure.
they did because this is what I was going to next. Is they talked about Premiere Access. People were very caught on to it. They did not say the word film when they talked about Marvel or Star Wars. So clearly, those are ones they want to leave theatrical. So they just said series. So that's why
I
we
didn't
don't.
think I didn't hear series when they announced it at the beginning. I thought
Yeah.
that they meant projects that they were working
No,
on.
they said series, and people have tweeted it out too and stuff like that.
Oh.
So it's just series because this is what and I guess we're kind of just going in order because the order I said we're going to go in is kind of the presentation. So Raya the Last Dragon, this is that new I'm not sure if you guys seen it preview whatnot. It's like a new Pixar one and everything. It's coming out March 2021. Now I want to get your guys' opinion. This is doing the Premiere Access thing. So this is doing what Mulan did, where it's going to go on Disney Plus and theater day and date, but you got to pay the $30 or whatnot to get it on Disney Plus. Soul is doing it's right on Disney Plus. Here you go. What do you guys like? Do you guys think? Because obviously and Bob Chapek, who's the new COO, said that this is like it's like a COVID test to see like if this is a really sustainable thing and what to do forward. Clearly, they're trying to figure out what to do with Black Widow. What do you guys feel about them? Again, they're doing this Premiere Access thing, and do you think Black Widow is going to go down that route? Do you think they're going to delay it again? Do you think they'll pull an HBO Max? I guess I'll show my cards. I don't think they're going to pull an HBO Max. Clearly, I think they're going to save things. But what do you guys think? They're dabbling in this Premiere Access again. Taylor, I'll start with you because you did Mulan. So how do you feel about them pulling out one more time? What a face.
It's like a one and done kind of thing, I think, for me. So they already got my $40 buckaroos for that.
So I'll ask you, what if they do that with Black Widow?
Well, they won't. I'm pretty sure when I was listening, they said that it's going to be a theatrical release. They said theaters like May 2021.
Yeah, they did, but that can change. Soul was a theatrical film till it wasn't, right?
I guess. So yeah, let's say worst case scenario and they do it. I mean, I'll do it for the podcast. I mean, are we going to be bending over backwards to get that Raya the Last Dragon review out? No, probably
we're not doing
But
that.
I mean, anything
No.
like Marvel, Star Wars related, it's a given. I think we definitely would do a review for it. But
And how do you think that goes with the public? Do you think? Because obviously I was talking about this with the Marvel Alliance guys as far as like I don't like Mulan and Raya, all right, but then like Soul, I was surprised they put on Disney Plus for free. Like it's gonna be just December, Christmas Day, it's there. I feel like that was the one to try and do the Premiere Access with because I feel like people are talking about that. Where Raya the Last Dragon, I know people that don't even know what that is. So it's like I feel like they've maybe picked the wrong projects to do this Premiere Access with because I don't know if anyone would do that, but I feel mainstream would do that with Black Widow at least.
yeah, with Black Widow, that would make sense. I feel like with Raya the Last Dragon, it's one of those films I think that's just going to have like a cult following attached to it. It's definitely not going to be like your Frozen or anything like that.
It looks great.
It does for sure. But I mean, so did Moana. But Moana, I feel like is kind of like again, it's got
What?
its own kind of cult following. It's not
Fuck
like
off.
What?
Moana's fantastic.
would you
Moana
put
is
would you put
fantastic.
Moana as above Frozen in terms of its fan base and everything? I don't think
No, but
so.
you're talking about it like it fucking bombed and was like
No, I'm not
the
saying
good
it bombed.
dinosaur.
I'm saying in terms of its fan base that it's definitely not at that same level as Frozen. Like it came, it was great, it was whatever you want to call it, but it's definitely not like long lasting and still like talked about and raved about and all that stuff. People are still raving about Frozen and that its sequel and everything like that. So when you have Raya the Last Dragon, again, I feel like it's the same scenario. It'll come out, it'll be a great film, it'll look awesome, it'll have a great story and everything. But again, I feel like it'll kind of like move to the side after a while. So again, I do agree with you in that sense where it's not the right project to be doing this experiment with. Mulan, again, not the right project to do that experiment with. So when you want to test this out for COVID time or whatever they call it, you got to use a heavy hitter of a film, and that would have been their Black Widow. But I understand why they want to push that back because they got plans. They got a whole consecutive trajectory with all these announcements that they're going for. So
Eggnog's so good, Ted. Did you see what I was showing off there?
eggnog is garbage. Santa
You
never
hit the
drinks
French
eggnog.
side.
Oh, well, he should be able to
On,
read that, remember?
I could. Santa doesn't drink eggnog though. Only hot cocoa.
Kirklin, what are you thinking about this Premier Access? This pay additional and you get it.
So, just a quick question. When's Black Widow's like
May 7th.
current? Oh, okay. Yeah, I feel like, I mean, just talking about that film in particular, with whether or not it'd be, what's the term you called? Paid.
Premier access.
It's
Premier access. Yeah, Premier Access, Disney Plus. I feel like a lot of that has to do with the timing of, I don't know, how these COVID protocols go, because like they definitely want to have a big theatrical release for that film. It's been pushed back so many times up to this date, and like it's a really big budget film. Not saying Mulan's not, but I think I do agree with you, Travis. With it's kind of funny that they would just be dropping Soul on Christmas Day for free, considering like I feel like that one has had the most hype out of, I don't know, just a lot of these movies that kind of got pushed to the side, unfortunately, with the COVID stuff going on. Like a lot of films people just completely forgot were either in the works or coming out, and that movie kind of was doing a good job of just staying relevant and in the conversation. So it is kind of funny that they're just deciding to just, like they're going to be taking a major financial loss by just doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's tough because it's not like they have many options to release it in theaters or anything right now, but I feel like like a lot of these decisions of releasing movies that you have to actually just pay for on Disney Plus, like it's really tied to the times that we're in with COVID restrictions and lockdowns and everything, people not being able to go to theaters and stuff. So I don't know though, because when I was watching like a lot of these Disney Plus trailers that they're revealing today, I'm like, man, like, are we really like possibly at, I don't know, the extinction of like theater going experiences and stuff like this? Because it's just becoming so normal to like see these really high budget Disney Plus content that's been out, like especially after watching the current season of Mandalorian. Like it's just been so impressive to see like a movie quality thing just being on a streaming network, and like I feel like it's becoming more normal to see it. It's becoming, I don't know, less of an expectation to see it on like a huge theater experience. So again, like the decision for them to be doing more of these premiere releases on Disney Plus, I feel like it's really tied to COVID. I don't know if that's just like a business decision that they want to just, even if COVID kind of gets better and people can actually go see theaters and stuff, like, are they going to keep doing it depending on what movies are? Because they'd be wanting to make the most money out of everything that they'd be putting out in my eyes. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think
really
it's
tied
all
to the times, I feel.
Well, yeah, it's all time sensitive because it depends in 3 months where I don't think theaters are dying. I think you'll just get less movies in there. You'll get the big blockbusters, and that's probably the way it will go. It's going to be, I won't say more niche, but it's going to be a bit more smaller, especially till like the world gets back to like normal, which will be a while. So
Yeah.
I think there's just them trying that out, I guess, because I think they do got to think about. They're hoping, okay, come time May, COVID's a bit better, we can put up Black Widow. But if it's not, what's the best way to do this? And
is it push it back, or is it to do, one of these?
Yeah, push it back
releases?
might be the way, because I don't honestly, as some of us earlier, I don't think they necessarily need it. With you got Mandalorian pushing subs, you have a bunch of Marvel shows coming up, and like in the span of 6 months together. So I think those would push the subscriptions alone. I think you could save a Black Widow. I really do. Like it would suck to push it back again, but I think the shows will do just fine. So
yeah, it's very strange. I'm just like, maybe it's just because I haven't been to the theater in so long. I like almost forget what that experience is like. Like it's been so long since I've actually been in a theater, seeing a movie on release. So I've started to just get used to seeing things you know, like the most hype thing I've got on TV right now, or is Mandalorian, and that's like almost movie quality. Like it's so impressive what they're doing with that, and if they keep doing it with all these other series that they're making, like again, maybe I'm just becoming too used to these COVID times. I'm just saying like, oh, I don't have to go out to see these big screen things because I got this that's coming out on Disney Plus or something, and then now with these big announcements. I don't know. I can I can stay safe in my house for even longer. You know, there's so much to watch and so much good content.
Kirkland
Well,
doesn't
we're
want
all
the world to go back to normal. He's content with his world now.
That's not what I said.
well, they announced a bunch of stuff for Hulu and whatnot. And nothing that we need to talk about, like Nine Perfect Strangers with Nicole Kim and Melissa
Aliens!
McCarthy. I'm except for one thing, Taylor Field. I was like, you can't just fucking let me finish. I've been doing this for 5.5 years. I feel like I'm pretty good job at the hosting gig, and I know what people want to talk about or hear.
Well, you tricked me. You're like, there's nothing we need to talk about for Hulu. I'm like, oh, he forgot.
Because they didn't even say that's going to Hulu. They just said it's a series in the works. But
No, it
anyways,
says
as
it
Taylor
is.
just fucking. No, it's just a series, Taylor.
On their ad they put out, it says currently in development Fox on Hulu or FX on Hulu.
Did it say FX on Hulu? I don't see any of this here.
He read it as Fox.
I'll send you the thing.
Don't send me anything right now. It's fine. So what I need to do is get your thoughts on Alien.
Good recovery. What I need to do is
I don't know. So, anyways, they announced Ridley Scott and Noah Hawley, the great Noah Hawley, who's a part of Legion, one of my favorite. I think they're probably the third best superhero show or comic book show. Maybe not. It's for people if you like weird stuff, but I always say it's like the Hannibal of superhero shows. So he is teamed with Ridley Scott.
this
And-
FX is a terrible spot. Right on top of the eye. I did not like that location whatsoever, but branding.
yeah, so Alien is getting a series. Taylor, we had talked about this before as far as there's a Predator film announced. Now we got this. We had talked before. Maybe they were going to be in the back burner for a bit, but no, you're getting some stuff. And also the Alien show is going to be set on Earth, which is strange. So what do you feel about this?
I am beyond ecstatic for this. The only time we've had aliens on Earth is Alien versus Predator, and
Oh, yeah.
that was definitely a cult classic. So this time around, when to have aliens on Earth, it's gonna
cult
be good.
classic.
I am so bloody excited because when I years ago, like 20-something-year-old Taylor found out Disney was buying Fox, and it was like, oh, okay.
It's like 2 years ago, not 2 years.
when
Like
when they were
ago.
buying Fox, then when we first learned about it, it was a while ago. Oh my God. Oh, don't do that on the stream, Travis. What did you do? It like cut Kirkland's head in half between your streaming screen and his streaming screen.
But it's all fine, isn't it?
It's fine
We're all
now,
good
but
now?
like his eye was on the left side on your screen, and his other eye was on the right. Like it was
Gives the
terrifying.
fan something to watch.
Oh
Then
my
we do
God.
that. We'll say, hey, did this happen? You win a prize. Continue. Just talk about Alien.
So-
Just be a professional. Go through with it.
I was going to, but like, so anyways, yeah, it's God, just my train of thought from Kirkland's like disfigured face.
Aliens, on
Aliens.
Earth.
On
Cult
Earth.
classic.
Aliens
Alien
on
versus
Earth,
Predator.
yeah,
Noah
it's,
Hawley. Ridley Scott.
It just blows my mind because when Disney took over Fox, I legit thought like, okay, Disney doesn't really handle rated R stuff. Like it'll be years before we get anything more related that's in the Predator Alien world. And all of a sudden now here we are. We're getting a Predator movie and we're getting an Alien series, which I think a series for Alien is definitely how you do it. I think doing it as a cohesive story is fantastic because Fox not too long ago held some I'm not sure if it wasn't like a competition or something, but they put out to like basic. I'm not saying this right. They put out the opportunity for film directors, not in like the sense of like major films like your Godzillas and Star Wars and stuff like that, but more like just in the industry directors and such to work on their own alien projects. And so they basically did a few of these different films and compiled it, and they sent them off to 20th Century Fox, and they put them out on YouTube. And they're like, I think there's 6 different of these fan films for Alien, and they're so bloody well done, so freaking good. There's one where like these people are mining underground and they come across an alien nest, and then you can imagine what happens, and they like the person locks them down there so they can get infected, and like another person's like on the ship and gets sent in an escape pod, and has an egg hatch jump right on it. Like, it's just so well done. So there's so many different stories you can do with Alien, and it doesn't have to be wacky. It doesn't need to be crazy like they did with Covenant and the flute playing and all that stuff. It just needs to be xenomorphs and humans and
No,
facehuggers.
that's the best part. That's the
So
best part. Michael Fassbender kissing Michael Fassbender. That saved that movie, you know?
I have
Ridley
complete faith.
Ridley Scott's still involved though. And he was a part of that whole flute playing, remember?
Yeah, he definitely was, but I don't think that they're going to go crazy and wacky with it. I think that he is involved, but I think you have, people at Disney saying, Ridley, just calm the fuck down. We're
Just
gonna do
simmer
this."
down.
Yeah,
Simmer down, Ridley.
Simmer down, old man.
They're
Aliens
gonna-
ours now.
They're gonna
They
take
just
it
bring
in a
him
new
to set.
direction.
They're just gonna George Lucas him. You know what? He's gonna come to set and he's, oh, I don't like any of those aliens. So and then they're kick him off and it didn't
Buy
happen.
his scripts and not use them.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because I think Prometheus a little bit, but Alien Covenant. Remember, Taylor, they did like dropping these clips online before the movie came out on this long trailer of like the Thanksgiving. To me, Prometheus Alien Covenant almost could have benefited from being a series, especially I think Prometheus as well. I like Prometheus, but it had like a feel of like you could stretch this out for multiple episodes. So
Yeah.
I'm unsure how I feel about the Earth thing. I feel like when they announced that, I was like, oh, we just need to like, keep the budget low. Like, I don't know. It just feels like I'd rather have, like I said, Prometheus or some like in space a series. But I think we had talked about this before. Maybe our very first cast, like way long ago with Dylan and Briggs as well, that what they got bought was like, what would they do with these franchises? And I think we talked about TV series, and I didn't know about Predator, but like an Alien thing, I think we had talked about, and I think this is the route to go because Alien on film, I'm not going to say it's completely done. I'm sure someone has a great idea out there somewhere, but I just feel like I've seen majority of what I need to. This is something different. Where Predator on TV, I go, I don't know how this could necessarily fit unless you do like Predators and it's multiple episodes on that planet, sure. But Alien to me kind of fits a little bit better. So I'm interested to see like timeline wise what they do. If it's a prequel, if it's in the like present of the past movies, if it's just completely something new. And like I said, no Holly, I love Legion so much. I've not watched Lucy in the Sky because I heard it wasn't the greatest, so I'll get around to it at some point. But I love Legion so much, and I'm very excited. I was bummed he didn't get to do his Doctor Doom movie. So Kirklin, you're a fan of stuff. How are you feeling about an Alien TV show?
Yeah, this is super duper exciting. I definitely agree with you, Travis. Your points on like Prometheus could have been stretched out to a series, and just thinking how that would have turned out over 1 or 2 seasons like that, they could have just dove into so much more detail on individual aspects of that movie, and like just more Alien content I'm down for. Predator, same thing. It doesn't matter. Like we all had fun watching the Super Predator movie. I think that's what it was called, wasn't it?
The Predator.
It was just the Predator.
It was
like
a Super Predator to me. Like I was rocking an Uzi and doing all sorts of things, and like say what you will about those films, it's still fun to just see these type of like creatures and classic monster type movies. Like I love them. I love the look of the Predator. I love the look of the Xenomorph. So I am excited to just get more content of it. The fact of it being on Earth, I'm actually totally down for. I think they can be very creative with. I feel like something that really makes the Alien series unique is like the isolation. I'm not trying to do a pun from like Alien Isolation, but like you really feel isolated in these films. Like they're really claustrophobic. Like they're kind of stuck in a space where they. Oh my gosh, these puns just
You're
spewing out
just
of my
going
mouth.
for it.
It's really isolated and they're stuck in space.
Yeah, so like them being in space, there's obviously no way out. Like they are stuck in there with this alien. But I feel like they could be creative with that on Earth as well. Like maybe do it some underground military
Like
base,
in a pyramid, perhaps, under the Arctic.
in a period. Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh! If this series starts off in like a snowy part of the Earth, I'm gonna shake my head, but I'll still be down. But I'll be lolling.
I'll shake my head, but I'll still be down.
But yeah, I'm really excited. It's really cool that Ridley Scott is, along for the ride with this one. I am curious.
That's
Well, we
exactly
don't
what
know
they
that,
told
but-
George. George, we're glad you're along for the ride for this one.
Exactly, because
George calls George calls him up. He's like, "How was your first day?" He's like, "Oh, they're great. You know, they pitched me on things and stuff, and they said I'm along for the ride." It's that's exactly what they said to me. And then he just hangs up. It's
See,
like,
even if
George.
that happens, we'll still get good jokes out of it. So it can, in my eyes, I feel like it can only be positive. So I'm really optimistic on this series, and I'm excited to hear more.
They bought my scripts, George. They really like what I'm planning.
George Lucas hates us. So speaking of George Lucas, we're gonna transition into some Star Wars after this ad break because I don't know what Taylor Kirkland's been up to over there.
Oh
But
no.
oh, there you go. Good job. Good
1
job.
minute. There's 1 minute left.
Oh, I did pretty good on time there.
50
So, ladies and
seconds, yeah.
gentlemen, this helps support our podcast network, Geek First helps us grow. If you don't like ads, go over to Patreon. Like I said, you get an ad-free feed with a bunch of exclusive perks and episodes as well. But this helps keeps the lights on, keeps these green lights on. So you're going to hear an ad in 3 seconds, and then we're going to be back talking about Star Wars. And we have a lot to talk about with Star Wars because, man, it was a juicy, juicy day. So 3, 2,
Didn't even trust me.
1. No, I didn't, because I wasn't sure. But there you go. So you can reset your thing. And Star Wars. Lots happened today, and we're going to go in order. Let's start with this one was probably obvious, but still, it's nice to have it confirmed. That's always the thing, right? We can hear rumors, but till it's confirmed, it's like, I don't know. It's the same thing I talked about with these guys off cast is later on we get to Marvel. They talked about Moon Knight, but they didn't confirm Oscar Isaac. Lots of scoopers are saying, oh, no, it's still done deal. It's happening, but it's not confirmed yet, so we still don't know. We got to sit around and wait for a little bit. Confirmed, and I don't know because I've heard mixed things, and maybe Taylor will know as far as a date, but at least the series is confirmed. Ahsoka live action show with Rosario Dawson. I had heard 2021 Christmas, but then I'd also heard that for The Mandalorian season 3. So I don't know for sure, so don't quote us on the dates. Taylor will probably be looking up. So I'll throw to Kirklin first. Obviously, we just got her in a killer episode of Star Wars Mandalorian. Check out our review, our biggest Mandalorian review yet. Thank you everyone for checking that out. We're getting a show with Ahsoka, Rosario Dawson coming back. The hype's there. Kirkland, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I feel like I got to jump into Clone Wars a bit to really get a feel for this character. I know there's some.
And I know a podcast you can listen to right after that.
Hey, there you go, cheap plug. But yeah, no, I'm really excited to just know more about this character, and I loved what I saw on Mandalorian episode with Rosario Dawson. Dawson, that's her last name, right?
Yep.
Yeah, to see just how she develops this character, and I'm a really big fan of her as just an actress, and I'm just excited to find out more of this character. I feel like I already mentioned, I feel like I got to do some more research though, finish Clone Wars, find out more about her because other than you guys, there's already been some other of my friends that have recommended that show for me, and I was telling them about those Jar Jar episodes that just made me turn it off. But no, I know there's some gold in there, so I'll have to watch through it and then get extra hype for when this live action series comes out.
Taylor, did you find a date on that?
It says sometime around Christmas 2021.
That's interesting because I swear I also saw them say something about Mandalorian.
Mandalorian season 3 will be released on Christmas Day 2021. So we might be getting overlapping seasons, which would be interesting. But
The first episode is on Christmas.
it says on Christmas Day for Mandalorian season 3.
Fuck this Christmas Day stuff. I'm just
I don't
gonna
like
say
that.
it right now. And I know they're doing that with Wonder Woman. They're doing that with Soul. And okay, fine, it's a little different because we're in COVID time, so some of us will be home, not as busy and everything like that. But it's just like, I still don't like it in the future because I just feel like I know it's like, oh, gather your family around, but it's like I still have shit to do. And to break the fourth wall as a podcaster, it's extremely fucking inconvenient to try and set that up with all of us. So that's great. So I don't know if I like the overlap thing unless they have something to do with each other. I feel like they should.
Well, they
just
are in the
space
same
them out.
time period, right?
So doesn't matter. MCU shows are in the same time period. They don't release them the same day, or same movies. They don't release them same day. Like,
well, no,
just have
movies,
Ahsoka go, and then right when
sure.
Ahsoka's done.
Movies, sure, that's different. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, this is new. I mean, we don't know when the other shows are technically going to be releasing, but they have a lot. This stacked with Marvel shows, so they got a lot of things that are probably going to cross over at some point when they're put out. So. He's trying to throw me off again. To counter the 10 shows, from what I can tell, I believe Because there's that Droid Story one too, which is a Disney Plus original Star Wars movie, right? So there's that. There's Acolyte, Lando, Star Wars
I don't think
Visions.
that's a movie.
A Droid
It's a
Story, the first
series.
Disney Plus original Star Wars movie. That's what it says in here.
Is it? I'll have to look at that. I didn't see a movie. They didn't announce any movies. And what's that supposed to be? Live action?
I don't know. Lucasfilm confirmed that the film will introduce us to a new hero guided by R2D2 and C3PO. That was in one of their tweets, Lucasfilm's tweets.
Was it a Lucasfilm tweet?
In a tweet, Lucasfilm confirmed that the film will introduce us to a new hero, yada, yada, yada. So I can't see the tweet myself, but it's saying that Lucasfilm tweeted it. But yeah, so there you have. I feel like that is like the 10th one would be Mandalorian season 3 that they revealed releases on Christmas Day 2021. So I feel like that's 10 right there. But anyways, so in regards to Ahsoka, I feel like it was definitely something that would have been expected at this point, because you don't just get like a well-known actress to portray this one character for this one episode and not have any other plans with her, when this is a big name actress, a big name character in a big name franchise. So now that we got the green light and we know that that show is happening, it just is fantastic. Now that we know that it's happening, continuing in the same time period of where she was in The Mandalorian, that is even better, because now I can 100% hold my ground and be so stoked, because I know Grand Admiral Thrawn's going to be in this Ahsoka series, and I am so pumped. We're going to get Thrawn, we're going to get Ezra Bridger, we're going to get some crazy stuff, we're probably going to get Sabine. Like, it's just going to be Star Wars Rebels 2.0 live action.
Kirklin, there's an actual button for raising your hand, so you might want to use that first.
This is more sentimental. Taylor, what's your dream Thrawn live action casting? Do you have one?
I had one on shoutouts to Star Wars Alliance, but I had one that I posted there with Katie and Nathan. I can't remember.
I thought it was Fassbender.
Blue Fassbender.
Maybe at one point it might have been, but he doesn't have the right, I think, like facial like structure for it. Because Thrawn, I kind of like envision has more like he has like a Benedict Cumberbatch kind of like physique, but not exactly. Batch.
His name's not Bach.
Bach.
He's a pianist. Sebastian Bach.
Well, what about everyone wants Lars Mikkelsen to do, because he voices him in the show?
I wouldn't be opposed to Lars Mikkelsen, but
Mads' brother.
Mars Mikkelsen.
Ooh,
might be
Mads'
like
brother.
A little bit too old.
He
And
must
again,
look good.
Seeing him in The Witcher, he just doesn't necessarily like. His face doesn't fit that tone. Like Thrawn is very sleek. He's thin. He's toned, and he just.
Well,
has
Lars
that,
is pretty thin.
All of these images are just him blue as Thrawn.
Who, Lars?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I have to think on it.
Yeah, I get what you mean, but I think you got to go for the acting talent over the look. Like, that doesn't matter. All they got to do is make a fucking guy blue. That's all that really matters. Times change. So, yeah, I think it's great. As I already was just kind of when I threw to Kirkland, I think it was the right move. It panned out as far as that episode. Most reaction to her has been pretty positive. So, yeah, I'm excited this got confirmed. I'm very much ready for this. I think I'm excited to see where the show can go. Taylor just laid out a bunch of possibilities. I think this is the one I was least excited for, just because around the time of that episode, we had heard those rumors. So we've kind of already discussed it and whatnot already. But this is what I want to talk to Taylor about, because we don't have much detail. And Taylor was right, that Droid Story is a film. I think it's going to be an animated film. I'm not sure. This is the exact tweet from Star Wars. Lucasfilm Animation is teaming up with Lucasfilm Visual Effects team to develop a special Star Wars adventure film, A Droid Story. This epic journey will introduce a new hero guided by R2D2 and C3PO, like you said, but animation. So I guess it's going to be an animated movie. So that's why. So no live action movies on the Plus right now. So this is one that's very interesting. We did not get much info on this, but it's called Rangers of the New Republic. And we got a logo. What we didn't, and also before I continue, Taylor, on the YouTube our video there, how come we're fireworks as our background?
Because we're celebrating. This is a good night.
Fair enough. That's fine. I just want to get the motivation there.
Night.
So they said Ranger Alliance, or it's not Ranger Alliance. Check that on the Geek Alliance podcast. They talk all about Power Rangers. Great show with Clay and the guys. But Rangers of New Republic is a show. And what's going to happen, though, is Rangers of the New Republic and Ahsoka are eventually going to have a crossover event kind of similar to MCU style. So they're going to have a crossover, maybe like Defender sort of deal. So Taylor, what do you think of this Rangers of the New Republic, sorry, and then they're kind of we've seen bits and pieces of them becoming more MCU like, but this is the most MCU they've ever been.
I didn't I didn't realize that they were gonna do a crossover event. How
Yeah,
I took
that
it
was
was I
confirmed.
thought that they confirmed that they just happened in the same time frame as the Mandalorian. And so I interpreted that as we get
I'll
probably
look, but
like
I swear you've made this movie do this several times. Here we go.
yeah, just double check on that because I didn't think they would do a crossover, and I feel like that would be a little odd for Ahsoka to somehow connect into the, like Rangers of the New Republic storyline because I feel like Rangers of the New Republic is more or less following the rumors of Cara Dune and stuff like that being probably in like a series and such. That being said, the show just gets me giddy inside. I just love the way what it's called. What do you got, Travis?
Well, no, I see multiple. See, blah blah. It's part of the same time period, and then with Mandalorian, all three shows will lead to a crossover event. And let's see, a new series coming. How many blah blah cross Rangers event blah blah. So I'm looking, but I swear, let's see, New Republic and Ahsoka will both set and crossover in Mandalorian time period and culminate in a cinematic story event. So yeah, so it
Ooh.
seems like it's going to be those three shows, and they're going to do Defenders, where they're going to bring them all together.
Well, I'm down. I mean, yeah, let's do it. So, whatever that's going to
It
entail or what that's going to have, like, if that means we get Thrawn with Moff Gideon and with the Imperial Remnant going up against Mando, Boba, Ahsoka, Ezra Bridger, like, oh my god, I'm changing my pants right now.
Okay, well, definitely go do that. What I was going to say is, do you still think this is the Cara Dune show?
I don't think it's the Cara Dune show, but I definitely think Cara Dune is in, at least in the show.
I feel like this is going to be, and you're going to like this. I feel like this is going to be their Rogue One for Disney Plus shows. It's going to follow a band of people, kind of the way Bad Batch is. I feel like it's going to be that going on missions. And what the hell is the story called in the books? Is Lost Empire or something like that? That is the sequel with Luke, Han, and Leia and everything with
Oh,
Thrawn.
Dark
Whatever.
Empire. Or
Dark
oh,
Empire.
sorry, no. With Thrawn, that's Heir to the Empire. Dark
Heir of the
Force
Empire.
Rising.
And we did talk about this before that maybe they could change some things. I wonder if that's what this event's going to be. If they're going to create some characters Ranger Alliance with Rangers of the New Republic. If they fuck. I will say one thing. I do not like that title. I think that title's not catching. It's not because I'm confusing with one of our podcast network. It's just like Rangers of the New Republic. It just doesn't like flow off the tongue. But you have that. You have Ahsoka and Mandalorian. I feel like, and if you get Thrawn, like you said, Ezra, this could introduce a whole type of Lost Empire sort of scenario. If they're doing some big cinematic Avengers Defenders type of event, I could see it being that. And it's very exciting that they're doing this. It's going to be a testing ground because I think Avengers and MCU is going to do this too with like Young Avengers and stuff like that with all those characters. So, Kirkland, what do you think about Rangers of the New Republic, and then also what do you think about this crossover event that's going to happen sometime in the future?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited. They have a really good track record so far with these live action Star Wars shows because I'm absolutely love Mandalorian and I'm excited to see more content. So I think the Defenders thing that they'll do, I mean, it's just gonna be a lot more exciting for me because I'll probably be following the shows like as they're coming out. Unfortunately for the Marvel ones that they had on Netflix, I was kind of falling behind on those shows. So when the big ensemble event happened, I didn't really have hype for it just because I hadn't really seen all those shows. Whereas this one, I mean, as long as I stay true to my word, I'll be fully up to date on them. I'm sure we'll be doing podcast stuff with it, so I'll be motivated to finish them all. But no,
they're not binge either. I think that's why you didn't finish those other ones because when we reviewed them, we'd watch them all in one weekend. Where this is week to week, a lot easier to keep up with.
No, absolutely. That's a good point. You guys were pretty crazy on your. It'd be whatever Friday night, stay up all night, watch all of Daredevil. And I'm like, you guys would be like, yeah, review Sunday. It's like, okay, yeah, no, I'll pass on that one. But no, I'm really excited. I like Rogue One as a film. People have their problems with it. I just like Star Wars, that being in that world, so I'm excited to get a little bit more I don't know, down to earth Star Wars film where it's more about like the soldiers on the front line and stuff like that. So
Thank you,
yeah,
Kirkland. I
you're welcome,
appreciate
Taylor.
that. I
That
have a,
comment was for you.
yeah, I have a question for you though. How do you feel about them possibly overlapping Star Wars shows? If we get Mando season 3 and the Ahsoka
Yeah,
series, are you okay with
that
that?
I can definitely see the pros and cons of it. I feel like cons is, I mean, if you're not caught up on one of the shows and you're just kind of intrigued on the one side, you feel like you're lost or you're, they're almost forcing you to like watch both the shows in that situation, especially if they're both on at the same time. It's not uh, like a Marvel movie. Let's just take that for example. That could come out and sure, it's a sequel. Like let's take Guardians for example, and then you have the big ensemble of like the Avengers movies. Like you can just watch the Avengers movie without ever seeing Guardians. You'll still like those characters and stuff like that, but like the fact that this TV series is releasing at the same time, it kind of I feel like it'll take some people out of it, honestly, for those reasons. But the pros, obviously, if you're a mad man or woman and you're watching them nonstop, you're just getting double dosages and you're just getting so pumped and the hype is
Yeah, that's exactly it, Travis.
The double fister.
yeah. So the hype is going to be unreal for the hardcore fans. But I feel like for those people that are kind of on the fence or maybe they just don't watch it like every single day of release, like they might let it collect and then watch them all there. I don't know though. I don't know. It's tough to say. I see both sides.
Yeah, and that's where I do the argument of I just feel like they should wait and space them apart until they're
Yeah.
at the point where they're making so much. I still feel like they'll have enough room where okay, watch this and then watch another one because like then what would both shows drop on a Friday? Is one going to drop during
Well,
the
no.
weekday?
I mean, this hypothetically, if we look at it, Mando started October and it went for like a whole month and a half, basically. So if you look at one show running a month and a half, and in 2021 they probably have maybe like three Marvel shows, and maybe they have obviously Mando.
They have 4 Marvel shows.
4 Marvel shows, so that each one of those Marvel shows would be like a month and a half, and then each one of the Star Wars shows is an additional month and a half. So a month and a half and a month and a half, that's 3 months, then 4 more. I mean, you easily clock out at a year really freaking fast at 12 months. So depending how many more shows they do, it makes sense that they overlap. It could be like maybe the finale of Mando happens, and then Ahsoka's show kicks off right after. Who knows? But I mean, literally, like what we're getting right now, Mando's ending, and we have a couple weeks space and breathing room before WandaVision picks up, and then after that we have more shows coming. So
But I just feel like it's such appointment viewing, which I get it. You have stuff on Netflix, which Netflix drops like 10,000 things on a Friday or something like that. But I think like one thing Kirkland was saying as far as what if people start falling behind, right? If they choose to watch and then there's 2 things. Like I think you can drop multiple things on Disney Plus, but I feel like they should be of different genres. Here's here's your Soul, here's your Mandalorian, here's your cooking show, and maybe not a Marvel because that's kind of same as Star Wars, but those kind of things, right? Like here's an animated show. Like when we talk about some of these Pixar shows, like here's that. I feel like the 2 Star Wars ones, I think that could be a little, I won't say troublesome because I guess you could just stream it and watch it right away. And yeah, most Star Wars fans will just watch them. But I feel like you get one I think one could definitely suffer as far as not being talked about and looked as the lesser of.
one
Where if it's by
could.
itself, it's just like, well, we got new Star Wars. This is awesome. Where one's like, yeah, watch Rangers of the New Republic. It's fine. But Mandalorian this week, that was great. And then it gets lost in the shuffle.
That's fair. I do think again, if people fall behind on watching these shows, I think that's only in the sense of it being like a crossover event, and then you have to watch the other show to be able to catch up and understand what's going on in the crossover event. I feel like they're treating these shows for the most part as standalones. You can watch them and just figure out their stories and enjoy it for what they are, and then when the time comes, you'll get to that crossover event, and we'll see how they handle it, I guess. So.
Well, I'm going to go put Taylor this egg not away in the fridge right now because I don't want to go bad. So I'm going to throw you guys this next story, but I'll say my thoughts because people already know it. But then they just confirmed that Cassian Andor is 2 weeks away from shooting. Tony Gilroy, who came in and did the reshoots for Rogue One, is the showrunner. So you guys must be excited as you're just giving it this love fest. Again, I like Diego Luna a lot. I liked Andor enough. I don't feel that excited for this. But luckily, at one point when they announced this, it was like this and like Mandalorian. I was like, I feel like there's other shows out there. We got so many shows today where I'm like, okay, I'll watch this. And I know that at least there's other stuff coming. Where before when it was like, oh, we just have this Mandalorian being worked on right now. Like I don't really care about Andor that much, but I'm pretty bummed because originally the showrunners of this were the guys that did the Americans, and they're not doing it anymore. So I really for Star Wars, this is like the thing I'm least hyped about, like easily. Like I think I'm more hyped about like the High Republic book, to be honest. And we know how that character's story ends, and yeah. So, Kirkland, what do you think about this?
Well, yeah, I'll ask Taylor immediate question. So they didn't just misspell Andor, right?
No, definitely not.
Okay, so, well, like, tell me a bit, because I really don't know too much about this other than who's in it, and then what Travis basically just said. So Diego
So
Luna, he
yeah,
was the guy
Diego
in Rogue
Luna.
One.
He's playing Cassian Andor again, and it's basically him and I can't remember the actor's name who voiced K2SO. So basically, him and K2SO
Oh,
are
okay.
returning, and it's just a prequel to Rogue One. And I'm
Yeah,
assuming it's just gonna be like a dark nitty gritty, like him running, whatever you would call he wasn't like an assassin, but he was doing really nitty gritty stuff that we could see in Rogue
yeah,
One what it looked like. So I think it's gonna be more of that like espionage and that sort of stuff,
yeah.
which sign me up.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, like I had mentioned before, I love Star Wars. I love that world that they're in. I love when they use, blaster guns and just their outfits and everything. So if you throw in some sort of espionage, gritty type action thriller type show, but you just skin it with Star Wars, like I am in. Like I'm so pumped on that. I am actually a little bummed knowing that, or sorry, what Travis just mentioned, the perfect timing. Uh Travis, throw those on. Travis, I was getting bummed out after you mentioned the last showrunners were the guys that did Americans, and I feel like that would have been such a good pairing for this type of show, because what me and Taylor were just mentioning is that it'll probably be, a spy
That's what
thriller
they're calling it.
action.
It's a spy
Yeah,
series. Yeah,
yeah,
and the
exactly.
Americans won Emmys for being a spy series.
So like, yeah, after hearing that, I'm a little let down, but overall, I'm excited for this. I just I want more Star Wars content. This is more Star Wars content. So,
I want more Star, but like,
and also,
there's nothing Star Wars that doesn't interest you. Like everything they announced Star Wars just that interests you. There's not somewhere you're like, I don't care about that. That's where I feel with casting. It's like I like Star Wars. I'll watch it for the cast. I hope I end up
yeah.
liking it. But it's like I just like it doesn't raise my bar of
Well,
excitement at all.
like for me at least, I think what's increasing the excitement level is that it's something other than just like a show for the kids and the whole family. Like it's something different than like happy-go-lucky, like pod racing type Star Wars stuff, or like the big world ending. Like I feel like we've become so used to either a huge world ending event like what we've gotten in the last couple Star Wars films, and then in the prequels you get some really just weird pod racing stuff. You get some just I don't know. I want stuff that's more yeah, like nitty gritty, like what's the other show that they announced too, where again it's another category that just is so different from what I've already seen in Star Wars. So I'm really excited on it. I think it's like
You mean Acolyte?
yeah, Acolyte, like that, like the thriller
Oh, we're jumping
mystery
ahead.
type. I'm not trying to go all over the place, but
We're jumping
just-
ahead.
I'm rambling here. Someone else take the mic. I can hear the Oscar music playing. They want me off stage.
Taylor, did you already talk about Andor?
No.
Oh God, Kirkland was really going for it.
I was
there.
asking him
excited for
questions.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this show again, I am excited for it. I was very very much looking forward to it. But I'm definitely with you in that part, Travis, where like yeah, they announced Mandalorian, they announced Cassian Andor series, and it's kind of like well, and I'm any Star Wars fan period when you just learn that okay, Disney got the rights to Star Wars, they're pumping out these movies and they're pumping out these series now. And it's like, well, of everything they could pick, a Star Wars timeline streaming over 10,000 years, they picked Cassian Andor series. It's like, well, okay. But that being said, I I can eat my own words because it's not just Mandalorian and Cassian Andor series. We're getting, again, so much more to go with it. That being said, again, the Andor series having espionage, spy stuff in Star Wars, I think that's very cool. Probably get to see a lot more new Star Wars tech that we haven't seen before, which gets me pumped up. And just to go back to the Dark Times again, which I know Travis loves the Dark Times. It'll be an interesting experience because there's so many different things you can tackle in that time period where you have different perspectives. And again, it is at this point in canon the most pivotal point in Star Wars history is the fall of the Jedi and just the rise of the Empire. What happened? I think I broke Travis.
Pivotal. You sound like me over there. And then this is like, let's say in a big one, but like there's just multiple big ones. So we got the title of the Kenobi show. It's going to be Obi-Wan Kenobi. Very original. When I saw the logo at first, I thought it was going to say Old Man Kenobi. I'm like, they're really just ripping off Logan, but it's Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Do you like what they did in the logo with Kenobi's eye? What they did with the letter?
Oh, it's the hilt.
It's the hilt, yeah. Clever.
Oh, I didn't see that yet. That's very nice. And then the big thing is, which I'm very excited, I'm going to get Taylor's thoughts, because I feel like I've been prepping you for this for years, and you're always like, no, this doesn't need to happen.
This is a repeat of, they're going to put Palpatine there. I'm like, no, it's not going to happen. Here we go.
Taylor's, like Taylor literally just said, well, he was shaking his head like viciously on air, because I was like, will you just put out anything Star Wars like? And Taylor's like, yeah, like he's just pitching a 10. And like this is the thing with Taylor. Notoriously, I said like, oh, they should bring Palpatine back. No, it's not needed. Then Palpatine comes back, he gets excited. For years, and the announcement is Hayden Christensen, and we talked about this rumors, stuff like that, but no, this was on stage. Kathleen Kennedy, Hayden Christensen is coming back to play Darth Vader in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, which is crazy to think. But Taylor, I told you what if when we used to do Cantina, as far as what if this show is about Vader and Kenobi, because there's people have talked about certain words when it's like the last time I faced you. He is never specific. He never says the last time I faced you on Mustafar when you chopped me down. He just says the last time. And there's lots of times in between. And I feel like, and this was always my pitch, the show is going to be, even that logo, it doesn't say it doesn't say old one. It doesn't say old man Kenobi, but I still feel like they're going to tear from Logan. They're going to just rip that up and be like, hey, we're going to take that and do that Kenobi. I feel like, and you, again, I'm not trying to do a Travis told you so. I always said, like, I feel like this show's going to be about old Kenobi, like, being very emotional and being like, what do I do? And you're like, nah, like, he'd be over that. He's just protecting Luke. This show is going to be a lot more about Obi-Wan and Anakin than I think you were prepared. And I think they will definitely... They literally said, Kathleen Kennedy said the words, it's going to be the rematch of the century. So she literally confirmed that they are going to lightsaber duel in this show. This show is going to be about, hey, I killed my friend, but guess what? My friend's alive, but my friend's also the new space Hitler. And I'm very excited for that. And I'm excited for that moment where he realizes, like Logan, I got to go out there one more time. And I think he's going to try to be like, I have to either stop him or one last time to try to turn him. And where are you, Taylor? Because like I said, for years, you haven't really been on board with that idea, and they're definitely fighting. It's happening. They said rematch for the century, and Ewan McGregor put out a statement just saying that he's just so thrilled to be working with Hayden again, and it's just like the time of his life, and he said that's the best thing about the show, that they get to reunite. So he's obviously all excited. I don't think he was going to come up and be like, oh, fuck that shitty actor, here we go. But I've always said, like many people, Hayden Christensen, one, yes, is not the greatest actor, but George Lucas nor is the greatest director. So it'll be exciting to see him with, why am I forgetting Kathy Yan directed Birds of Prey? What's her name that's directing Obi-Wan? She did all the great Mandalorian episodes.
Not Caitlin, is it?
Taylor, are you looking something up or are you just looking ghostly at your computer?
I'm just waiting.
He's watching the Warzone trailer.
Well, Taylor, tell us what you think about this. I will find out her name. See him like
bumping his head.
As long as they do the story right and within reason, because it's tricky. You have a character that will not surrender his duty to protect Luke Skywalker, and again, this story I believe was confirmed to be 10 years after Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
So you have
Deborah Chow.
Deborah Chow, yes.
Deborah Chow.
You have Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I'm assuming, I don't know at what point he kills Maul, but he kills Maul when you see Luke, and Luke's probably around 10, maybe a little bit younger than that. So around this time, you have Obi-Wan. He's got white hair, and he is just well seasoned and very well experienced and wise. He obviously is very confident in his position in defending Luke after killing Maul. So, for him to reach that point, I could see him going through some sort of tribulation or trial, and if that means facing off against Vader, that would be fitting. I would like it more if the Maul scenario happened after uh, Obi-Wan faces Darth Vader. I think that would be cool because then you have like Darth Vader is like
I
dealt
think
with
so.
Maul
Yeah.
beforehand, so it would be very interesting, kind of in the timeline sense. But if you have Obi-Wan go up against Darth Vader, again, like I know I'm gonna love it, and I can just picture Rogue One's hallway scene times 10. Like if we
Oh.
get that, like I'm sure you guys have seen that like fan redone version of A New Hope when Obi-Wan and
Yes.
Darth Vader fight, and that was just it's so freaking awesome. But to get that and an actual like movie budget scale with our Ewan McGregor and our Darth Vader Hayden Christensen back, that would just be
Not my
that would be
Vader.
nuts.
Not my Vader. Yeah, my Vader's David Prowse and James Earl Jones. Don't try it there, boy.
Oh no, I'm not saying like replace them, but like they're all pieces to like one character. It's the same way you have Sam Witwer and you have Ray Parker. You know, just kind of like forming that one connection and being God, being Darth Maul. Same with Ahsoka. You have the two.
Okay,
actresses,
let me
so-
cut you off there before you make this comparison. Ahsoka, that means nothing in mainstream audience. They still don't even know about her Vader connection. They will now as they're watching Clone
No,
Wars,
I'm
but they
saying
know
the
how.
actresses that like multiple actresses that bring one character to life. I'm not saying Hayden Christensen just shafts over like David and James Earl Jones. They all form this character together.
I agree, but when you say like my Darth Vader or our Darth Vader, I think you don't need for this show. You would need Ewan McGregor back as Kenobi if they said, "Oh, we're gonna get another actor to play Vader." You could do that.
Did
You
I
just
say
need
my
James
Darth
Earl
Vader?
You said our Darth Vader. You even made it worse. You said our Darth Vader.
Did I
To
say
have
our Darth Vader?
Yeah, you said our
Oh my
our Ewan and
God.
our Darth
Fuck.
Vader, and that's why me and Kirklin are like, no, that's
Where's my
not
2
like
weeks notice? I'll hand it
he
in,
might be our
boys.
Anakin, but like no. So like, if they're doing Flash, this is the thing that's very interesting. Is they said not Hayden Christensen's returning, not that he's returning as Anakin Skywalker, he's returning as Darth Vader, and obviously then they just spoil that they're gonna fight in the show. If they were to say, hey, we got to do visions or flashbacks of Anakin, then I go, yeah, you need Hayden Christensen. You don't need Hayden Christensen for Darth Vader. I think you'll still get flashbacks, but I think it's more of just a courtesy of like, bring him back. He gets to be Vader. It's Ewan Obi.
Well,
That's
they
great.
proved
That's
that already. They proved they don't need Hayden because they did Rogue One with
Right.
Vader.
right, and
So-
exactly. So we'll see what happens there. So I think they will be Anakin visions or flashbacks,
Yeah.
but it's a very tight rope what they're walking on because I feel like what I have to do is the same way of how I end up. So you know the show Gotham, right? When that started, I watched it. I'm a big Batman fan, and I started to enjoy it because I was like, oh, I'll just pretend this is an Elseworld because that's what it ended up being. Sometimes with this new Star Wars world, I have to feel like I do that because I've told Taylor this. I hate the fact that, to me, in my headcanon, always when I watch Return of the Jedi, Luke Skywalker is our last hope. He's the last Jedi we have. But now we've learned that there's like 5 or 6 other Jedis going around at that point. It's just like, well, where the fuck were they? Why didn't they meet up with Luke and go help him? Like, I know Taylor will have spin some theory. Oh, well, they're doing this and they're fucking people on Dathomir, whatever you want to say. But like, if there's the Death Star, Darth Vader, it's like that's the time where you all come together. So it's just like these inconsistencies, and that's the one thing I do worry. I've always told you I think this would happen, but I've told you I didn't really want to happen because now, for me, same thing. I took the last time that he saw Obi-Wan was when he was shot down Mustafar, and he's had 30 years of pent up, like, I'm going to kill this man, this guy who left me for dead, my master that betrayed me, all this stuff. For me to know that in the middle of that, they also had another or possible many interactions, it could change things for me in a way that I don't like. So that's why I feel like they have to be careful. They have to do it right. And even then, the stuff with Mandalorian, they're doing it right as far as story, but I still don't like that Luke's not the last one. He's not really Last Jedi. I know you say, oh, Yoda was old. He didn't know what was going on, but still, that's the way George meant it. So I almost have to look at this stuff as like a what if. And that's why I enjoyed it a bit more. Because today I was like, really? We're going that route? Kirkland Patzer of Geek First Podcast, you have a question.
Yeah, no, just piggybacking on what you mentioned there, I definitely was having those thoughts with like the last time that Obi-Wan and Anakin saw each other, you know, before before they met again on the Death Star, like all those years later. Like I have this thought in the back of my mind, like, is there a chance that this could deteriorate like that big clash that they've had after like 30 years? Because now that we'll know that they've smacked around a couple times, here and there. And
prequels can do that. That's why I'm not a fan of them, because only if it takes a few bad steps to like kind of not ruin something, but put a bad taste in it. It's the same thing. Do they lessen that iconic lightsaber duel in New Hope?
Oh yeah, Duel of Fates is playing, and like on Mustafar with the lab in the background. Like, is that gonna be taken down a few notches? Like, if we look back on it now, because that's technically affecting the canon of those movies. So
yeah,
it is interesting.
George.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm gonna eat it up though. Like, just like it's fresh cake or something. Like, I am gonna love it. When I saw that Rogue One, hallway scene, just like the current generation like effects that we could get on like Vader and like just the menacing aura that he brings, like that's just gonna be cranked up in this super high budget. I mean, maybe I shouldn't over exaggerate this. I don't know if it's gonna be super
high
over budget.
300 million.
Oh, I think it will be. I think they're gonna put lots of money into this one, because it's only 6 episodes, and I think and I think Obi-Wan. And the reason I'm saying this is because when we get to Falcon Winter Soldier, Kevin Feige literally said this is a 6-hour movie split into 6 parts. That's what he said. And I feel like they'll take the exact... And with Deborah Chow directing all the episodes, that's the way it feels. It feels like a very Zack Snyder Justice League, like this is a movie, but we're doing it as a miniseries. And I think that one will have the biggest budget out. Like, I think that's one... I don't think they look at any of these big shows like, skimp a little, but sometimes they might have to. I think with Obi-Wan, they go, no, we got Ewan back, we have Hayden back, we're doing this. The first female, like, fully led directed project. I know people have directed them, but this is hers from start to finish. It's a big thing. So I think that we'll have a big budget. I think you'll have those like MCU type of style budgets going on.
Yeah, no, that's super exciting, because I'm gonna eat up just more Vader content, because I really like that character. There's definitely just getting back to like the Hayden Christensen casted for it, like, to me, the only reason why they would ever have to do that is like what you mentioned, where you gotta have throwback scenes or something, because technically he's just a charred little crispy man. Like, you could put anyone with that prosthetic, like, even if he doesn't have the helmet on. No, it's
James Earl Jones' voice.
Yeah, so if they're going through the effort of, Kathleen Kennedy that made the announcement? Yeah, so like the fact that they're making this big stage announcement, like, I can only imagine there's going to be quite a few scenes of him not charred, or maybe Obi-Wan just sees him like he's haunting his memories, because that was his like best friend, almost like a son-like type situation. So I'm excited to see how they play upon, maybe if it is more of a psychological thing with Obi-Wan dealing with like what happened at I almost called him Hayden, Anakin, but I'm interested. I am curious how it'll affect my look on, I'm just gonna call it the Duel of Fate scene, like the big clash that they had, and then how that also affects their rematch, years later on the Death Star. So, but yeah, I honestly didn't know it was just 6 episodes either. So that's really interesting.
Mm-hmm. Taylor, any more thoughts, or good to move on?
I had one actually.
Well, no time like the present, am I right? Okay. Well, before we get into our next, because we still got more Star Wars to talk about, there's still fucking huge ones coming up here. We're gonna throw to an ad break, and we will be right back. We are back. I have not actually seen this trailer, Taylor, and I don't think Kirklin did either, because I didn't tell him. When I was seeing the first half of this, I was at work, so I could hear some stuff. Bad Batch. Also, reason I guess I haven't seen it, because I'm just not that excited for it. It's like kind of like what you like, Clones and Rogue One style, but I will watch it. I don't know if I'll be reviewing it for the podcast. I might leave that up to you if I'm not really enjoying it that much, but I'll watch it. I'm excited. I'm not excited. I'm intrigued, but that's about it. Like, I'm trying to be excited. Like, it's not anything that really. I like the Bad Batch episodes enough from the Clone Wars, but they didn't. I wasn't walking away being like, "Fuck yeah, I need the Bad Batch." And and one
Get the
thing,
Black Series online.
Yeah,
There are
exactly. Looking
some.
like Moff Gideon. And then the other thing, like this is backtracking, Taylor. Do you think Filoni's going to show run the Ahsoka show?
Uh, um,
Because they didn't say that, right? They
mm,
didn't even say anybody show running it.
I feel like that's like his thing. I like Ahsoka is like one of his like probably
So
one of
why
his
wouldn't
like
they
proudest
announce it then?
creations.
Don't you think? If that's like such a oh yeah, that's Dave's thing. That's why I wonder if maybe it's not like he could be directing and writing or a consultant, but I don't know if he's like it's I don't know if he's doing a Deborah Chow on it where it's him the whole way.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I could definitely see him maybe like just doing like the writing and maybe producing on top of it, maybe having a like someone more in the director's chair with the experience of directing, I guess, handling it, as long as they're where like okay, like Dave has that creative control over the story and the characters and what the Ahsoka's going to be doing in this series. That would make the most sense to me, but that's interesting. I didn't think of that.
Yeah, no, I just thought about because like Bad Batch came up, everything like that. But Kirkland, did you watch this trailer?
I did until
Oh,
I thought it was just like a Clone Wars type thing, so I just kind of put it on the back burner there. But I feel like it's one of those things that you kind of have to have seen like their origin in Clone Wars and stuff. But it's cool, more content, so that's good.
So watching this trailer, I didn't like again, I got home and I was posting things, networking, all this jazz, and then I happened to like refresh my page, like, holy crap, 3 hours ago there's a Bad Batch trailer. Oh my god. So I played it and it gave me goosebumps. It really did. It looked like a much more refined quality animated show from what the Clone Wars season 7 looked like. It looked beautiful in the terms of its animation. And I got chills when you just see the whole clone army standing out front and you see the hologram of Palpatine just saying we're being
Yeah.
reorganized like First Galactic. Like it was so good. It was so good. And then we also got to see Fennec pop off in this too, so we're getting a little bit of Mandalorian kind of thrown back into here, which
oh,
is
she
cool.
was in it.
She was in the trailer,
Mhm.
yeah,
Oh, that's cool. Okay,
yeah.
that's cool.
So
You're getting me going.
there's
You're rubbing the nipples the right way.
the nipples the right way. There's it's cool again. They're doing more of that kind of like interconnected galaxy universe world building, which is great. That's
What
what
they
Star
should have
Wars
been from the
be doing.
beginning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what they should have been doing from the beginning. You're right.
What they should have been doing 5 years ago, and they're just catching up now. They're like, oh, people like this.
But again, this is
and think about this: Avengers happened in 2012, and they still to be like, oh, 2028 years later, people like this connected stuff. Fucking Christ. What did you do to the original trilogy or the new trilogy? What did you do to Ben Solo, you motherfuckers?
Dug
And
under
then
his
so
skin.
this is, and maybe at the end of the day, at the end of this cast, I'll get you to pick you guys to pick like your top 5.
Hang on, are we moving
favorite
on?
now-
Because I'm not done yet.
Yeah, oh yeah, we're moving on. Look, my hands raised.
Mm.
It's too late. But yeah, go ahead.
um, one of the things that just gets me excited for this show is the fact that in so many of these mediums, we always see, okay, you have the end of the Clone Wars and it just jumps to the Empire. There are stormtroopers now. But to actually see the direct cinematic results directly post after Revenge of the Sith and to still see the Empire rocking clone
Dark
troopers and
times.
stuff, the Dark Times. Like, I
See,
love that idea. What are you gonna
That's
say?
what I loved about playing Star Wars Battlefront 2, like the story mode. Oh my gosh, you actually got to like live through that like actual, turn from Clone Wars or not Clone Wars, from Clone Troopers to Stormtroopers, and it'll be cool to actually see that on screen, whether or not it's animated or a TV series or just for them to actually go into it. It's exciting.
Exactly, and that's again there's so many rich stories in the comics that you have, and one of my favorite ones is when you have like he's a famous clone commander in the Clone Wars, and after the fall of the Jedi, he thinks Vader is a Jedi.
You didn't have to specify the Clone Wars. We understand like, a famous clone commander in the Clone Wars. You fucking little geek nerd here.
You geek nerd.
So you have this clone commander, and he mistakes Vader as a Jedi, and he orders his troopers to fire on him. Pisses Vader off,
Oh,
and Vader
bad
executes
move.
him. Yeah, bad move. Yeah.
Like new boss. First day being the new boss. Ugh.
So there's so many cool stories. You have Jocasta Nu post Jedi, like clones are hunting her down. And
Oh
stuff.
no,
like,
I don't want no
we need the Jocasta Nu
Jocasta the fuck
series.
out of here.
She almost kills Vader. We need to have that series.
Not in my canon.
She's got a gun that turns into her lightsaber. It's so good. So
Nice.
yeah.
if it's not on the file, it does not exist. Whatever she says, right?
Is that the chick in the
It's the librarian. She's a Jedi master.
Oh
yeah,
my
she's a
gosh.
Jedi. Taylor had
Yeah, I've
told
seen
me
her
this
in the
during
Clone Wars. Yeah.
retrospective, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Just like, what is the actual quote, Taylor? If it, if it,
If it is not within our records, it does not exist, or for
yeah, it's
planet,
not
something
records.
like that.
It does not exist. I hated the
dumb
way she talked to
bitch.
Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan,
Yeah.
Obi-Wan should have chopped her down right there and been like, "Oops, my lightsaber went off." And that's why Anakin's like, "Yeah, it went off." So then this was a surprise one. We don't have much details on it, but it's going to be a limited series Lando. I fucking love the logo, by the way. Just that's
Oh,
some
yeah.
slick looking logo. I don't know what this is. Is this Billy D or is this Donald Glover? Because I can go two ways.
Oh, yeah.
Why not both?
Well, because you can't go both. Well, I guess you
Yeah.
could, but okay. So here, either it is Donald Glover, and I'm very excited because that was my favorite thing about Solo. I think one of the only really good things about Solo, and I'd love to see Donald Glover be more Lando Ventures. I would also like to see Billy D. Williams was fine in The Rise of Skywalker. He's a bit older, but that's fine. I think he still had that charm. I'd like to see what he could do. But the reason I'd maybe want that a bit more is because if we're getting that, unless they do some stupid trickery, which I don't want, but I would assume that would take place after Rise of Skywalker. And I think them doing so far in all these series, it's been different ages of prequels, right? What I want. But I've always said I also want the really past or I want them to move forward. If they were to do a sequel series, Rise of Skywalker, even if it's not meeting Rey and blah, 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 and Kylo Ren gets resurrected so they can fucking make that baby, which it's going to happen one day. If it's none of that, it's just still like in this new system, post Rise of Skywalker, that's very interesting. I guarantee if it's Billy D. Williams, the boring answers they do like in between like Rise of Skywalker and Last Gen, like what he was up to. That would just deflate me and be like, I don't want that at all. Like, what are you laughing at?
I can picture you just being so upset, throwing your
but-
Mac out the window.
Frisbee style. But like, no, that's what I don't. So what do you think, Taylor, about this Lando series? Because we have heard these rumors before, but I feel like we've heard them for both Donald Glover and Billy D. And when you guys said why not both, is there a potential that it is both? Maybe it's some sort of he's flashing back to an adventure. I don't know, but they did say it's a limited series.
Well, if it's limited, that makes me feel like it would be with her original cast.
Right?
So
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
being said, I do feel like that they aren't. It's more likely I could see them pursuing the route of having Lando post the Solo film and just kind of continuing his journey with Donald Glover because he's a great actor and why not use him as that character like they casted originally? It only makes sense. And he's obviously still got a lot that he's going to be doing. It could be him somehow Shanghaiing his control of Cloud City, which would be an awesome story. I'd love to see how that unfolds. It would be very interesting to see. I understand that it could be post Rise of Skywalker. It could be him, with Janna. Like, well, let's go find out. Something like that. And it's just that kind of story.
It's a good Billy D.
Yeah, it interests me. But at the end of the day, it's not my kind of story that I want to follow because what are they gonna go up against? They're gonna fight some Kanja Club or something like that, or I just doesn't have any pull. I want to see Donald Glover lead the charge again. And no disrespect to Billy D. Williams, he came back, he reprised the role. He did great in Rise of Skywalker. I think that he is Lando by all means, but it's definitely there's nothing wrong with them focusing on Donald Glover and just portraying
There's
that kind of
also-
character.
There's also like so much they can do because like he like walks with a cane, Billy D. Like they're like it's just
Yeah.
a realistic thing, right? But so Star Wars Twitter just tweeted it out, the galaxy's favorite scoundrel, which is he? I thought that was Han Solo, but that's fine.
Well, they were going to
Lando-
replace Han
Han's
Solo
reformed
with them, right?
scoundrel.
Yeah. Lando Calrissian will return in Lando, brand new event series, early stages of developing project. And I had seen like this thing. I see people using the thumbnail of Billy D, but then I see some people saying like, "Oh, with Donald Glover," but and nothing official has said like either way. So Kirklin, what are you thinking is going to happen, and what are you wanting to happen, and are they the same
Yeah.
thing?
I mean, I like betting on Billy D reprising the role.
and
I
non
feel
Billy D.
is like it being a limited series. Like that's like the only thing that's really making me think that it's possible that it could be him. But then again, when you think of the logistics of it, like he's not doing much acting these days, and like
Yeah.
you just mentioned, like him walking around with the cane and all these like it's a very limited what he could do. Just goes like a body double of him doing like triple backflips or something. That'd be pretty funny. But I think I got
You almost
Chad
just spit eggnog all over my Mac.
So
Just fucking.
yeah. So I mean, for what I want, I feel like I'm kind of torn though because I love Donald Glover. I think he's just such a talented individual actor. Everything he's doing is just amazing. And I really love him in that role. And I feel like it would make more sense for us to follow him because he's just very charismatic. And I feel like he's at just a better age to lead a show like this than Billy D, even though Billy D is the original. So I don't know. My heart kind of is going with I don't know though, because I feel like Billy D could they could do something creative of Billy D's just like
doing his backflips.
Fucking robots.
No, I don't know. I think I would put my chips on it being Donald Glover. I feel like we just didn't get enough of him. All we saw him in was Solo, and there was so much more that we could have got. Unfortunately, that film didn't do too well, so probably won't get him in that time frame. But I think I would put my heart vote on Donald Glover as well for that. And also just one more thing with I'm looking at the logo right now. I love the logo. I feel like that's
sleek.
For some reason, I feel like I'm reading like cards or something right now. But I'm getting some Donald Glover vibes from this logo. I feel like it's more of Lando in his younger prime era. Maybe he's doing some scams. Maybe he's doing some I don't know, casino type things. So that's the itch I'm getting.
I still feel like the way they could do it is if it's mostly young Lando, is kind of do what they did. You know, Kirklin, you're an Indiana Jones fan, is when they had River Phoenix play young Indiana Jones and they had Indiana talking about that. Obviously, the whole movie wasn't that, but you could reverse that. Where Lando, like I said, there's something happening in adventure he's currently on that reminds him of the past. So it's like Lando's still in it, but you're referring because it's like at the end of the day, if they're doing Lando prequel Donald Glover, well, we know he survived, so it's like, well, just put Billy D in there. Maybe he's just thinking back to an adventure he had. And then,
that's a good point.
You know,
some tales.
Yeah, but even then, that's where again, when they say limited series, it's like, well, I still feel like you get multiple seasons out of that. But then again, Donald Glover is also Childish Gambino. He's also in Atlanta. He's also starting to direct. Like, he's a busy guy too. So maybe he's like, yeah, I'll do this, but like, I can't be signed on for multiple years. Like, I really want to do it again, but like a series, like it sounds like the Kenobi, right? Like 6 episodes. Sure, let's do that. Because they could say limited series, but at the end of the day, it was a hit and they want to do another. They just say, fuck it, let's just do 2. And no one's going to complain. You said limited series, it's only 1, but it's just like, as of right now, that's like the expectations they're putting on it. So
what George would say.
Oh, it's limited. It's only going to be 3 episodes, 8 hours. 10 special editions. Oh man, it's only 10:30. It's 10:30. We still got a ways to go. Buckle up, baby. Here is, like I said, when I asked you guys at the end of the day if we're gonna do our top 5 most exciting announcements, I think this is my top 5 in there for sure. The Acolyte. The Acolyte will be a mystery thriller following the dark side emerging during the end of the High Republic. So Taylor, for everyone that does not know, tell everybody what the High Republic is and when it is kicking off.
So the High Republic is set a few hundred years before the age of the Old Republic, featuring characters like a younger Yoda and several other younger Jedi Knights. Just so people are aware, because people
you just sound like Mugatu in Zoolander when he's like, Hansel, so hot right now. Like featuring young. You sound like Stefan from SNL. This club has everything. Young Yoda, the High Republic, 100 years from the Old Republic. Young Yoda. Continue.
Well, there you go. Yeah, so the I'm actually
Young Yoda, so hot right now.
I'm surprised you're starting with the Acolyte, because the Acolyte kind of, I'm imagining, picks up after the High Republic show that they announced. So
you said they're surprised I started with that, or
I'm
them?
surprised you're starting with the Acolyte in our.
Like you're saying you as far as Disney.
No, like you, Travis, because you're like you segue to the Acolyte, but it makes more sense to talk about the High Republic show, because I feel like this would kind of be a continuation from that, right?
This is no, they're one and the same, Taylor.
Oh, I thought they announced the High Republic and.
No, this is the High Republic show.
Well, fuck me. I thought we were getting 2 Republic shows, so that kind of like puts a damper on my night, but not
See,
really.
and remember when I said there was still 3 they hadn't announced, and you're like, no, well, you're already down Rogue Squadrons. You're already down the
No,
High
because
Republic
New
show.
Republic wasn't even on that list. Now I think about it. Oh fuck, it
Sure,
isn't.
but anyways, so
Oh,
again, in a bad way, like legitimately, this is so. I'm very excited. I'm just gonna say one little worry. This is a prequel to the prequel series.
mhm.
It really is because it's not. So the High Republic is what I feel like you didn't explain this portion is there's a book coming out in December. They had pitched us a few months ago as far as between comic books, potential video games, animation, TV, maybe film that they were, and now they're doing it with Ahsoka and Mandalorian. But before they were pitching this as their MCU. We are going to create a universe that was all connected stories, intertwined, everything like that. And the High Republic was supposed to be where there was no Sith. And it was like the Jedi at their peak, like the Knights of the Old Republic, there was back and forth. This was supposed to be like they're on top. There's no Sith. They're kicking ass. They are the bee's knees before everything goes wrong. So this literally, if it's the Acolyte in that plot description of, what is it? A mystery thriller following the dark side emerging during the end of the High Republic. So this is, to me, right when Sheev Palpatine is starting to get his... Well, no, because it says at the end of the High Republic era. The end of the High Republic era is going to transfer right into the prequel area. So that's where I feel like the whole Darth Sidious, what was his master again?
Plagueis.
Plagueis, thank you. You're going to have those type of characters, I think, in this. I don't know. You could have even a young Sheev Palpatine.
But to you, when would you classify as literally the start of the Old Republic? Starting, you saying that's right at the beginning of Phantom Menace or something like that? Because that's not the
Pretty
case.
much.
Again, these movies are spaced out by at least over 200 years. Not these movies, but these timelines. So when you have the High Republic, the Old Republic, I would imagine, would probably start a few decades before the Phantom Menace, I would say. So Palpatine being related to this and being the Acolyte in this, I 100% disagree. This, again, I feel like, again, we know the story in Disney's canon, at least, that you have Darth Bane who exists. He is canon in this franchise. So you have his character and you have that storyline that's progressed with the rule of 2 and something that they are adhering to. So again, I feel like the Acolyte, you're going to have a story of some master that is obviously moving on into the next life or whatever, and he'll pass on what he knows to Palpatine. And again, if it was Palpatine, I'd be so surprised. Again, I just need a date because I'm looking at the Acolyte as being a show that takes place 200, 300 years before Phantom Menace.
It says replaces the High Republic between approximately 300 and 100 years before the events of Star Wars: A New Hope. That doesn't really give me much help right there. 300 to 100 years. That's great. Let's see. High Republic is set 200 years before the Skywalker saga began in Star Wars: The Phantom Menace. So this is the thing that... But what is the prequel era called? Whatever. Because there's the High Republic.
It's the Old Republic in the prequels.
So, but...
No, I thought the Old Republic was old, before
they
the High
changed
Republic.
it. Now that's changed to the High Republic.
Oh, fuck.
So they
this.
changed that because the High Republic is when it's at its peak, and then it changes to the Old Republic, and then the Empire, and then the New Republic.
And then
so this is where... Okay, but this is... You gave me the point right there. So it goes High Republic, Old Republic?
Mm-hmm.
Then that's
the old Republic, though? Or do we just not talk about that anymore?
The old... KOTOR
the Sith
and
era.
Like that?
Yeah.
Well,
they're gonna...
that's how I take this as, basically.
No.
So when they say this takes place in the near the end of the High Republic era, I'm not getting vibes that this is gonna be if you look at Palpatine and how old he is in Phantom Menace, he's still pretty young, and I'm not expecting this to be around that time period. I feel like when they say end of the High Republic, I don't feel like the end of the High Republic is within that 10-year span of Phantom Menace. I feel like the end of the High Republic is going to be still a few decades before. Again, 300 to 100 years is a long time.
Yeah, it is, but I just feel like when I could say, yeah, there could be. I do think it's 10 years or something like that. Because Chief can be younger. I'm not saying he's gonna be the main villain and that, but I'm saying he could pop up and stuff because we already have young Yoda popping up, as you said. Younger Yoda. I just think that if there's no air in between, how the timeline goes is the High Republic, then the Old Republic. They're saying this show takes place at the end of the High Republic. To me, that is the transition over to the Old Republic. So to me, especially, remember the prequels, we talk about this all the time, that is right when they're starting to realize, Sith might still be out there. The High Republic is all about, they've said in these books, is when the Jedi are high reigning supreme. The end of the High Republic to me is them starting that realization of, something's not right.
But why
There's
would
dark.
you
We
call
haven't.
Palpatine the acolyte though? If he is the only
Well,
one,
no,
he
I
would.
don't. I'm not called like you're being so specific with this. Like I'm not saying he's the fucking acolyte. We don't know what the acolyte is. I'm just saying that like something dark side immersion. Anytime they use the word dark side, it leads to a Sith. I know they tried with Force Awakens, everything like that, but how did it end with? It's the return of the Sith. We got to Palpatine, right? I'm not saying Palpatine's gonna be the acolyte, but I'm saying whatever leads to Palpatine, that's why I thought Plagueis, whoever's before him, would like.
Darth Tenebris.
Well, that,
Yes,
yeah, that makes
that
sense.
domino effect.
I thought you meant that this is going to be associated like with Palpatine, or this is going to be referring like this is Palpatine.
No,
That's
it's not
what
like
I
he's
thought.
the Phantom Menace again. No, but I'm saying like I think you could see a young Palpatine in this as apprentice of the Sith Palpatine, like that sort of deal. Like before, like you could have this show going for a few years, and literally one of the last episodes could be him killing Plagueis. That's what I'm saying. If you have a young Yoda, so that's the only thing that disappoints me a little bit of like I worry they might get into too much prequel because we've seen that before of like the Hobbits, right? Like if we get to the end, it's like, oh, you really got to set up what's happening in the thing. I would have preferred them doing the High Republic when they were the highest, but I will say this: the High Republic so this is tough. The High Republic concept I like because it's so past Skywalker. I'm like, yes, that's what I want. I don't like the idea of it's when the Jedi are just reigning supreme because that to me is just like, well, there's not much really interesting there. It's like I like when the Jedi are like the old Republic, the Ancient Republic, when it's like something is afoot here. We're dealing with the Sith. So I like the idea of them doing the whole mystery thriller. There's potential Sith or dark side user. I just don't want to get too prequely because if young Yoda's in these books, I don't guarantee you, but I think there's a good shot he's in the show. And then, like I said, if we're getting close to that, like Palpatine, Padme era near the end, it's like I just don't want him to be too much like, you remember this guy? He becomes, Darth Sidious and he kills. Like that's what I worry about. And they've done that before. Solo was that. Rogue One was that. Rogue One was less, but Solo was definitely that. So I like the idea of that. But it's just, it's tough. But I do like the idea of a mystery thriller. So, Kirklin.
Do you think if we see young Yoda, he's going to be as cute as Grogu?
No.
No, he'll probably young Yoda will be probably like 600, 700 years old in this.
Fucking old, crusty man. But anyways, I feel like just jumping on to what you're saying there, Travis, with like the possibility. Like I see your complaints with the fact that it would like if the Jedi are just popping off and they're just so flooding the whole galaxy and it's kind of boring in that regard. But I feel like it honestly could play that route because at least from what I'm getting in this title, like the Acolyte, like it feels very like dark and mysterious and like very cloak and dagger and very like just like behind the scenes type stuff, which is kind of what the whole Darth Bane like Sith ideology kind of was, of just hiding in plain sight, like don't show your powers, just try and play like 4D chess and like play do a Palpatine did, like just do these political moves to get in a high ranking power and people not even know who you are. And I could definitely I'm kind of getting excited to the possibility of it being around like the Darth Tenebris era. That's Darth Plagueis' master and that stuff, because I feel like that's just, it's only been like touched upon very briefly in the prequel movies, but there's so much good content there. I feel like, I mean, just this whole show in general has been exactly what I've been like just wanting out of Star Wars. I'm so obsessed with like the what I call the Old Republic era. Fuck you, Star Wars, for renaming it all.
I was gonna say it's the closest because you'd still want like that old. Like I feel like this is them compromising of we're gonna do something in the past, but we still want to make it our own. That's what it feels like. And that's the thing. Like I have worries, but they're just worries. Like to be honest, like out of all these shows, this is one I'm most excited for because I think it has the most potential. But I just think it also has the most potential to let me down too because I just so much like
absolutely.
I want them to be different and do these things, and that's why I worry when they said it was near the end of that era. I go, oh, like like I said, I don't want them to be like, this is something different, and then it'd be like, no, like it's still leading to the Skywalker stuff, and they
Yeah.
can say it isn't, but that's happened before in these movies, and that's my worry. But at the concept alone, it's the most exciting because it has the most potential to be different. Like all the stuff you're talking
Yeah.
about with the Siths and stuff, like I hope we can see something like that or their version of it.
Absolutely. And I feel like although there's a possibility because it's at the end of that High Republic era, I feel like they do want to at least have it in like arm's reach of the movies that we know, like
Mhm.
these characters that they can at least be like, oh,
Young
she's
Yoda.
Palpatine. Yeah, young Yoda. Like you guys know these people, not like what I refer to as the Old Republic, like literally thousands of years before, like these, like even Baby Yoda, like like before he was looking like Grogu.
Yeah.
So I still think that I mean, I feel like this could also just be them testing the waters on what the response would be to something like this. Like,
Very
is
true.
there a big fan base for people that want this type of old stuff? Like, let's just keep it at least in range of the movies that we have, and then see how it goes. And then who knows? Maybe a few years down the road, they go another 100 or so years in the past and see how it goes. So
Well,
very
we've al-
exciting stuff, though.
we always talked about that in the past with Kotar. Like, what do you do if you do it as a series? Because we said, like, for me, I was like, oh, I want this movie for the budget. The shows are getting that budget, so I would want a show. But we were always like, well, maybe you do a show because people would give it a chance. But it was still like, it's still nothing people know, right? Unless you put in that like touchstone, like a Baby Yoda. But like, look at the announcements today. Okay, so Ahsoka, that's spin-off Mandalorian popular show, so people know that she's a newer character, but still people are gonna get used to her. Rangers of the New Republic, that's one of the only like new things they announced, but they've already said, hey, that's gonna tie in with these other shows. So there's already okay, we know that. Andor's from a movie, Ahsoka from the show, Obi-Wan, obviously is Obi-Wan, Bad Batch is a spinoff, and then Lando. Acolyte, and then after that, there's like the droid thing. There's other things we're going to talk about. There's one other one that is a big one, but other than that other one, the Acolyte's the only thing that's not based off of this is a spinoff of a TV show you already love. This is a spinoff of a movie. This is to me like you just said, it is a test because I hope if people are into it, then it's like, well, maybe we can get into that Revan era. We can like Taylor. What are they going to call that era? What do they call the era now of the Revan
With
time?
Revan and all that, well, it's tricky because again, Revan and all that is not technically canon yet in the storyline, so we don't
Well,
know.
Revan is. Remember, he has his name around in two separate places. In Skywalker, there's
Is
the
he
Revan
actually?
The name
Squad.
of the Sith Legion is like Revan
Oh, the
Ten-
Revan
and
Squad.
Tenebris as well. That he's used as one of the Sith troopers platoons.
But I just mean like this that air. I know it's Revan's not canon in that air, but it just that air in general back
I
then.
feel
Does
like
that have
they
a
would just
name
call it
yet?
like the Sith era because
They
that's kind of
probably
been tied
would.
in with the Old Republic. Like I've heard the Old Republic, at least what I know it as, people have, or at least what I've read online, has been referred to just the Sith era. So I don't know if that's been spewed from Disney, because that's kind of their
Well,
gods right
no,
now.
it
They
is.
determine what's canon.
It is because if you look at Rise of Skywalker, you obviously had that like Sith assassin character, whatever his name was, Achi or Uchi, and he had. If you look at what he had that emblem, which is basically from the Sith Empire, right? So
Yeah.
I think you're spot on, and I don't know all these terms because like. What they've covered is you have like the Mandalorian Wars, Mandalorian Civil Wars, the Mandalorian Purge. Then you have the Old Republic, the New Republic, and the High Republic. Where that fits in the timeline, I'm assuming Revan would be before the High Republic, and then I'm pretty sure what Bane came after. Did he not?
Sorry.
Yeah,
So-
Bane came after
Bane
Revan.
did, yeah. So
No,
Yes.
no, did he?
yeah, because Bane
Yeah,
started
because
the rule too.
Bane was like the death of the Sith.
Yeah,
He
right.
was
Yeah,
the one that
he dropped the
basically
bomb and
murdered-
everything
yeah,
like that. Yeah, he won the rule
mind
too.
bomb.
So
Yeah, so
Bane-
there was. I'm trying to see if this is the right one, but I have before the Republic, Old Republic, Rise of the Empire / Clone Wars era, Rebellion, New Republic, New Jedi Order, Legacy. But I'm just trying to find out if like, what the deals with all those.
So I feel again like when you look at like Star Wars Acolyte, to me, that story piggybacks along characters like Bane. I think it's very fitting for that kind of character. And again, if we get Bane for that, I mean that would be a very bold play. But again, they're gonna reinvent the wheel. They're gonna do their own character and their own kind of story, like you guys said, testing the waters. It definitely, I feel like, can segue towards a Palpatine and what they're basically going. Because you're right, Kirkland, that plan that they instilled of basically going through the political system and taking over, that was just a plan set in motion generations before Palpatine.
Oh yeah,
That was passed
exactly.
on, like, and it was a very selfless kind of plan for Sith to do, but they knew it was the way to keep their their success. Palpatine just fucked it over because he got greedy and didn't want to keep it going. So,
Yeah.
but to
Yeah,
have
I've been trying to find like the like Wikipedia and stuff like that, and there's like the eras are there's like prehistory, like there's that's what I hate that Star Wars the new canon was kind of like, oh well, this is the way it is now, but
everything about like looking at Star Wars, the Acolytes title, it just preaches like its aesthetic and its design does not feel anything like prequel or the current Sith that we have. It just straight up looks like it's out of the Old Republic video games. It's just, especially like looking at the H and the way they have certain like indentations on like even the E. It just feels like it's like old school Sith, and I love that aesthetic. So
Yeah.
so
Absolutely.
I found another one. This was from Phantom that had a very similar thing of Before the Republic, Old Republic, Rise of the Empire, Rebellion, New Republic, blah. We know those ones.
I'm gonna go.
So
with this
is
thing.
the High Republic in between Old Republic and Before the Republic, you think? Because I guess there was no Republic, right? So I would assume that Kotar, if it was ever canon, would be the Before the Republic era, because that's supposed to be like when there's no like the Sith are reigning. So I feel like they have to give it eventually if they ever do that, like either whether it's the Sith Empire or whatnot, they got to give it a better they got to give it a better name than Before the Empire or Before the Republic, because that's lame as fuck.
I got a Star Wars guide here. I'll help clear out. And not a lot of this is like canon now, obviously, but it might be kind of where
It's
Disney's
outdated.
pulling.
Well, no, don't use the don't use
Unfortunate.
that one because
No,
that's
because
gonna
this
confuse
does
people.
this does. Well, I'm gonna state that this is not canon. But
Well, no,
from-
but don't read that one because that's not going to help us because we just talked about Old Republic not being the same Old Republic. It's going to confuse things. We have to go with
no,
Disney's
but
new
I'm
canon.
using it in terms of like what Kirklin was saying. Like, what would you call it? Like the Sith Wars and stuff like that. I mean, the way they call it, they have like terms like Fall of the Sith Empire and then Rise of the New Sith. And when you look at like Rise of the New Sith, I feel like that's something that it, like applies to like this Acolyte storyline, even
Yeah.
what they're trying to do there, because obviously you have like the Fall of the Sith Empire, which again you have the High Republic, and that comes after. They think there's no Sith, there's nothing that goes on, and then you have Rise of the New Sith, which is obviously Acolyte and that sort of stuff.
I'm very excited for this show. Anything else to add on it? I like the logo. I like the logo. It looks like a little cheap to be honest, but like I
Yeah.
like the lightsaber through it, so I like that.
I don't know how I feel about the logo. I'm not over the moon for it, but just the idea of the show has me super, super pumped. So
Well, what about this, Kirkland Pat? Sir, Star Wars Visions, a series of short animated, or sorry, a series of anime shorts from iconic Japanese creators, and it's going to be a bunch of like, I don't think they said what if, not what if, but just like, yeah, just a bunch of like little adventures and whatnot. I think this is very cool. I think everything, it's kind of like what we talked about before, just more content. So I'll definitely be checking this out.
yeah, no, that's super exciting. I this one slipped through the cracks for me. I hadn't heard this one, but everything you just mentioned, that's sounds like what I'm already into. Throw Star Wars in there, it's even more exciting. So I'm really excited to see what it's like. I picture it being something like What If, not so much like, what if Obi-Wan was Vader or something like that, but just like little original
Whoa.
type, like short
I want to
stories.
see that episode, though.
Well, that's what I mean, though. Like, it probably won't be a What If series like that. Marvel's doing their whole switching around what we know, but
Yeah.
unless that's stated, because I actually didn't know about this one.
No, I can't. No, it said some. It just said little adventures, but I remember during the video it was something else as well. But Taylor, excited about this?
Got me going through all my timeline books now.
That's why I said put them down.
I
Put
love
the
this
books
stuff.
Later.
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, why wouldn't I be? I mean, it's definitely not gonna be probably like on my like top 5, like gonna jump on board with it. But
Yeah, you hate anime people, right? That's what you told me
Yeah,
yesterday.
I hate the Clone Wars. Oh my god.
What?
What?
I said anime.
Oh, I thought you said animated.
No.
No, I like anime. Gosh, Attack on Titan. Let's go. Pokemon. Hell
Gosh.
yeah.
He's just yelling out anything he knows. Attack on Titan? The kids love that.
Oh yeah.
Hey, youngsters.
Why?
Why do you have to like Kirkland's dressed
I
as
just laugh
BRB
because it
and you
goes-
just have to
it
laugh
goes
right in the
all-
mic?
Everyone on stream can see that. It's just funny.
That's fine. They know Kirkland's gonna be BRB.
So I'm excited. It's more short stories. They're gonna be added to the universe, so it'll be interesting to see. They did something like this with Halo Legends. They had a whole bunch of different short stories that were anime of the Halo characters in the universe, so it's cool.
Um, so Taika Waititi is still developing a Star Wars movie. We didn't get much details. Just the quote was develop a fresh, unexpected, unique Star Wars movie. So I'm excited for it. But the thing is, I liked the logo they showed. Like, did you see that logo they had while Kathy was talking?
No,
I'm asking you.
I said no.
Oh. I didn't hear you at all. I'll see if you can see that at
I'm gonna
all.
Google it. Oh,
You
I
see it?
see it. Okay.
Yeah. So what I wanted more details. We didn't get any, so that was kind of disappointing. But what I take from this is with every other thing, Taylor, the big announcement we're about to talk about, the shows, and we talked about Droid Story, stuff like that. They all had a log line, right? Of like, this is the title, this is who's making it or in it, and this is what it's about. This is Taika Waititi, and he's just making some cool. I think this is not going to be anything. This is a Boba Fett movie, a Kenobi movie. This is a spinoff. I think this is legitimately like he's done with his other movies, like What We Do in the Shadows, Hunt for the Wilder People, Jojo Rabbit. I think it's gonna be something like, I know she says unique, but completely just new. Like, not even like this acolyte, which is like, oh, this is based off High Republic. I think this is literally just him doing a Star Wars story, where literally it could be about like, let's say a person that like is a bank heister in Star Wars, like or a splicer, like something like that. Like, I think it's going to be something of not the norm. That's why they said that, because they would have. I think now they would have given us some sort of log line, like, oh, Taika Waititi movies about this. So they didn't. So I just think it's about something completely random that he's made up.
Yeah, that's fair. I missed this part of
Yeah,
the call, but I
it
agree
was very
with you.
quick.
It could be something about death sticks. It could be something completely
It could.
vague and unexpected. And you know what? Do it. I mean, Star Wars, and again, all these different franchises, when they can put out several different perspectives and medias that can just satisfy whatever kind of Star Wars fan you are. If you like the espionage, if you like the Sith, if you like the Jedi, and if you like bounty hunter
Death sticks.
westerns and death sticks, all that stuff, then that's perfect, because Star Wars is hitting that point where there's something for everybody, and I think that's awesome because there's so many diverse Star Wars fans in this fandom, and it's great to have so many different things you can get behind and back behind, and it's awesome. So if he does something wacky, I am all for it.
So now for the no, Kirkland, you're good. I will after this. Now for the big news for Star Wars to close this all out. This was a massive announcement. I cannot believe this. And it's so funny. So to flash back to the first year of the podcast, maybe it's going in the second year, but they announced Rogue One. And it's in our bloopers. You can go back to our very first year bloopers, and Taylor goes, you know what they should have called it? Rogue Squadron. And everyone goes, no, that's stupid. Blah, blah, blah. You don't name a movie that. I think I even said that. It's in our bloopers. Go check it out. But, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting a movie called a film, theatrical film called Rogue Squadron. It is going to be based on fighter pilots in Star Wars. So, that. And above and all, it's going to be our first ever film directed by a female, and it's going to be directed by the one and only Patty Jenkins, who directed Wonder Woman and obviously Wonder Woman 2 coming up and Monster. This is a massive get for Star Wars. I know people like this is one of those that like it's kind of like when people say, "Oh, Feige should produce one," blah blah blah. Like this is the same one when everyone talks about the female director, like you gotta get Patty. It's always Patty or Kathleen Bigelow. But after one, it's like, oh, everyone's gotta get Patty. But it was always like, it's almost like the too obvious choice. Will they do that now? It's interesting because if you look at Patty's history of Disney, she was originally supposed to direct Thor 2. Thor, that was Natalie Portman's choice. They said they're going to go with her. They had a falling out. They let her go. And that also led to Natalie Portman having a falling out with Disney. Now, Natalie Portman is back with Disney. Also, they don't have the fucking sexist pig Perlmutter, so that probably helps. So it's very interesting that Patty is back. And this was definitely planned months ago, maybe even a year ago. But is it interesting timing when you have Warner Brothers pissing off all these directors who are having problems with what they're doing, and they want to go to the DGA, and they don't like that they've released these films on streaming. Again, this was planned months ago, even before Warner Brothers made this movie. But man, the timing's just so funny that happened, and now she is directing a Disney Star Wars film. And it's just one of those of like, I believe she'll direct Wonder Woman 3, but if things go really bad and things go good with Disney, that's someone they add to their team and they keep. And it's the same way I think James Gunn would happen with Warner Brothers, the same way they pissed him off and he went over there. So, but above all that else, whether it's a past or drama, I just think that does this really interest me? Not really, but it does, because we joked one time like, give me a pod racer show. That's what I think this is gonna be about. I don't think it's gonna be a show about like, oh, you have to save the world, you have to win the battle and stuff. But I like that it's probably gonna be a smaller adventure. And again, to me, you'd sell me. I'm all about directors, and you tell me Patty Jenkins is gonna direct a Star Wars movie. That's a seller right there. The director of Wonder Woman, and everyone go watch Monster if you've never seen it before. It got Charlize Theron an Oscar. She's a fantastic director, and this is one of those mic drop. They didn't even end the conference with this, but this felt like a mic drop moment. We got fucking Patty Jenkins doing a Star Wars movie, and I cannot wait. There's no date put on this, but she put out multiple statements of video. She's clearly very excited. She's talked about how much she loves Star Wars. So I think if they were going to get the first ever female director, this was the way to do it. So Kirklin, I'll throw to you because we'll make Taylor wait because he's just going to go on for a while. But Kirklin, lots to take in. But what do you think about this huge announcement?
Yeah, I'll keep it short and sweet for Taylor to jump on there. No, I'm a huge fan, obviously, of Wonder Woman, and I haven't seen Monster, but I heard it's phenomenal. Kind of like critically wise, just well structured and well directed, I guess would be the word for it. Yeah, so. This is super exciting. It's hilarious that this kind of was a meme, just how Rogue Squadron Taylor called it. Big shout out Taylor.
5 years ago.
And I know I'll see this. I'm excited to see what they do with it. Just yeah, I don't know what, like something like Top Gun to expect, or like
Maybe,
I have no idea.
Top Gun and Star Wars.
Yeah, like I really don't know what to expect on this, but I'm really excited, and I'm really excited for how happy it's gonna make Taylor, because this is scratching all of his itches.
Travis, I got a question for you before I give my spiel. Do you feel like Patty Jenkins, she woke up and she saw what Warner Brothers did, and she's like, you know what, fuck these guys. She called up Disney, hey, give me a Star Wars movie. And they're like, hey, we happen to have a movie for you right here.
No.
You don't think that happens?
Like, yeah, it's called Rogue One. It's like rename it, and I'll do it.
No, I think this probably most of this presentation was filmed like a week ago, even before that Warner Brothers stuff happened. So no, there's no way they just blindly like, oh yeah, Patty. Like, if Nolan would have dropped today, then I would have been like, yeah, I something happened there. But hey, I've said it jokingly on Geek Ultimate Alliance, but I'll say it here. I'm just saying, people that think Disney can't go and get Nolan, just fucking bet them. Just bet them. Let's see how this Warner Brothers things goes, and let's just see them give him the Rolodex and be like, you can do whatever you want. You don't got to make a Star Wars. You don't got to make a Marvel. Just make whatever you want. We'll put it out. Go ahead. Has to be theatrical? Sure. Like I said, just bet these people that have all this money. And that's thing. No, this has been planned for months.
I love that name, by the way, Patty Jenkins. That's so dope. Just rolls off the tongue nicely.
Patty Jenkins. So when you look at a film like Rogue Squadron, like, you know me, I fucking love my space battles. I
know you do.
Love my space battles. Star Wars Squadrons, it's in the name. I fucking love that game. Oh my god. Like, this is the bee's knees. When I play all of my Star Wars games, I'm always in space. I'm always flying. We're playing Call of Duty Warzone. Where am I? I'm in a helicopter, because that's as close as I can get to space.
True. Where's Taylor? We don't know. Probably in a
true.
helicopter.
So this is just a dream come true. And yeah, I remember getting flack like Rogue Squadron. You're like, fuck Rogue Squadron, And it's just so good to see it come alive. So this film just gets me so giddy inside, because Rogue Squadron is just, you have Wedge Antilles, you have Biggs Darklighter, you got the boys. I don't know why he's laughing.
I don't know, just how excited you get for these characters. You go Wedge Antilles.
Is Porkins in there? Is Porkins
Oh,
in?
no.
I don't think Porkins is. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure Porkins was not. But I mean, with Rogue Squadron, again, like, I can't confirm all the members of Rogue Squadron at the time, but I know, like, Luke obviously took over Rogue Squad, or took the lead of Rogue Squadron, and then you have Wedge Antilles that took over after Luke. But you have these characters that are badass pilots in this elite squad, and the things that we can see cinematically, I'm so excited for with this because Rogue One just did like the tip of the iceberg. I feel like at this point with what they did with the space battles, and it was so good. Like I can't even tell you how many times I've watched the 14-minute battle sequence of Rogue One, just all the space battles on.
I would believe
loop.
you. Whatever number you shout out, I believe you.
It's primo stuff, and to get that as a movie, give me that squad, give me these pilots, going to town in the dark times, just do it. I want it. I need it so bad. This is gonna be a movie too. Like that's even better.
Yeah.
Like not even a series. So just, I don't know. I don't know who or why they just looked at their notes and were like, you know what, we should do a Rogue Squadron movie. I don't know why. Maybe they were playing Rogue Squadron 3D or something like that. Like, you know what, let's just do a movie based off of it.
I feel like this type of movie, because it's so specific, I feel like this is a movie that they met with Patty Jenkins, and she goes, what type of movie would you like to do? And she goes, this is what I'd like. I feel like this is her pitching to them and them going, okay, let's do that. I don't think it's they were looking. I think it's like a Rogue One when that writer guy was like, what if we did a movie about, them trying to get the Death Star plans? I think it's just a guess of my part, but just because it's so specific, I bet they've clearly, Kathy's been talking about they want a female director, right? So they're probably meeting with a bunch of them. I guarantee you Patty was probably one of the first they met with. And they thought, okay, think of a Star Wars pitch. Let's maybe meet again. She pitched that and went, great, we like it. That's why I feel like this is a Patty call, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I like that. She
Okay.
she pitches Rogue Squadron. That's A-okay in my books. It's just there's so many different opportunities that they can tackle with this. There's so many stories, so many planets that we could see, and just so many new characters that we're going to get to encounter. They don't need like a Luke. They don't need a Han Solo for this. It's just about the pilots. And I'm so all for, the troopers, the pilots, the people behind the enemy lines, people in the cockpits of these ships. That's what I want to see. So it just gets me so pumped up. I do have to say I love the logo. It's so simple, and its minimalistic approach is just so absolutely fantastic. So I am just absolutely ecstatic. This is easily in my top 3.
Top 3.
Is it not your top 1 Star Wars thing right now?
To be honest, it's not my top number 1. It's close, but with the chance of having Thrawn. And that being said,
fair enough. Yeah.
They could easily this is a time period where they could throw Thrawn in there. They could put Thrawn in there, and they could have
that
his
was
TIE
gonna
defenders.
that was gonna be my question of what era do you think they tackle?
Well, Rogue Squadron, I believe, was only in, from my knowledge, like New Hope time to Return of the Jedi, and there a little after.
Oh, so it's the Dark Times.
It's the Dark Times, yeah, because it's Rogue Squadron. Rogue Squadron is a rebellion squad. So
Wedge Antilles, though.
yeah,
Wedge Antilles. Yeah,
Star
okay,
fighter.
fair enough. I didn't think about that, but yeah, well, that's gonna be exciting. I'm excited for Taylor, but I'm Patty Jenkins. They could have said she's doing anything. I'd be like, okay, I'm there. I'm very excited to see what she can do. So, I'm gonna rattle off a bunch of announcements because in our real world, to break the timeline, we got an hour to Mandalorian, so we gotta get this whole conference done in an hour.
And then we'll be back.
Kirklin will stay up. So if I'm gonna round off just the whole Disney live action stuff, I'm gonna just list them. If there's anything you want to talk about, let me know. I'll give it to you now, and then let me know. Swiss Family Robinson, if you like that, that's getting a reboot on Disney Plus. Hocus Pocus 2 is happening. Zac Efron's 3 Men and a Baby reboot will be on Disney Plus 2022. That man needs to get a fucking better agent. His agent is letting him do 3 Men and a Baby reboot. Are you fucking kidding me, Zach? Call me. I can save your this. Zach's an actual good actor. That fucking Ted Bundy movie. What is this guy? Whoever's his agent is just cashing in on him, making all this money. That fucking Netflix show. This is stupid. Think of these people all in these MCU Star Wars movies, and he's what? He's doing fucking 3 Men and a Baby.
They probably
that's
offered
what
him
he's
a
doing?
big paycheck.
Doesn't matter. You got to do the McConaughey route of don't take the money sometimes. Do some good projects. After that, Diary of a Wimpy Kid animated movie for Disney Plus. Ice Age spin-off series at Disney Plus. I'm pretty excited about that. I love Ice Age movies. And then a Night at Museum animated sequel. Shout out to Hansley, who loves the Night at Museum films. So it's specifically an animated sequel. So I guess they get Ben Stiller back. Lion King prequel is officially in works with Barry Jenkins. Barf. I love Barry Jenkins, but Lion King prequel. There we go. Live action.
Oh
John
no.
Mulaney, Andy Samberg, and Seth Rogen have been cast in a Chippendale Rescue Rangers movie for Disney Plus.
Oh man.
There is a Pinocchio movie in works at Disney Plus with Robert Zemeckis and Tom Hanks to star as Geppetto. Peter Pan and Wendy in works at Disney Plus. I didn't even see some of these. Enchanted 2 in works at Disney Plus with Amy Adams set to return. Like, holy fuck.
Wow.
So that's the Disney live action stuff. Anything to shout there that you want to specifically talk about? Going once.
You went pretty quick.
I'm pumped, but that's
Like, can
that's
you
it.
read them over again, please?
Peter Pan
kidding,
and
I'm
Wendy.
kidding.
Okay. I don't think there's anything we're really wanting to like talk about.
No,
that.
yeah,
That's
it, like,
fine.
I'd say if anything, it'd be like those unexpected sequels.
Hocus Pocus 2.
Like the Night of the Museum animated thing. That's really interesting, actually. I like those movies. I wouldn't say I love them. Shouts out to Hansi, like you said. But that'll be interesting to see how they do it in animation. But yeah, and then Enchanted too. That's pretty crazy too.
Taylor?
I think it's just I got nothing. It's cool they're doing all these because they're cult followings.
Well, I think they're smart though too. Like these are Fox brands.
Mhm.
Just because they weren't your brands, don't let them die. Like an Ice Age. Like Ice Age was
Yeah.
popular back in the day. Night Museum was popular.
Totally.
So it's like just use them. And these are good things for Disney Plus. They're family oriented. They can control them. So I'm gonna do the same thing here, but I'll be a bit slower. So these were all the Pixar series. Well, I'm not sure because this one, Baymax, is in work at Disney Plus. It will continue the story of Big Hero 6. I don't know if that is a series or a film. I'm assuming
I
these are.
think it's a series. They said.
I
if
think it's
remember
a
Yeah.
series.
So I think these are all series that are happening right now. So you have the Baymax one. You have Zootopia Plus is going to be following the characters in World of Zootopia, including Flash the Sloth. That's awesome. Got to bring him back. So Baymax series, Zootopia series, Tiana series, the Princess from Princess and the Frog, and then a Moana series is in the works. I think these are all stellar ideas. Baymax, that was a fun world. I want to go back to it.
Oh, yeah.
Zootopia, that world, the biggest thing about that film is the world building it did with all those animals and characters. To go back there, there's so much potential. That's the exact same way I feel about Moana, as far as like all these legends they talked about and spirits and creatures. You don't have to follow Moana. You can just follow anything in that world, kind of like a Star Wars, right? Like a Rogue One, a whole solo Rogue Squadron. So you can just go into that world and follow stuff. And Tiana, I'm interested to see what they do. I like that they're doing it because that was Disney's like last hand-drawn animation. That's Emily's, I think, favorite Disney movie. I actually really do love Princess the Frog. The style, the music, and just not even the style of just like the drawing, just like the vibe and everything. So it had a picture for us, the princess. So I'm very interested to see. This is not a prequel. It's her after, Princess Frog. They turn the frogs and they kiss. So I'm not sure what they're going to do, but like the whole Louisiana setting I love. So honestly, all these I saw and I just like, all these just sound like great ideas. So, and I think just very smart and Pixar also announced, what was it? They're doing like an exclusive animated series just made for that. They're also will team up for Awaja, releasing on Disney Plus 2020. So it's a Pixar film. And then there was Encantico. I don't know what that was either. But what do you guys think about those ones? And I have some other ones coming up here too. But what do you think about that?
Yeah, Big Hero 6 is definitely one of my, like, I fucking love that movie. I love the world that they built. I love the characters in it. So I'm very, very excited for that Baymax show, as well as, I mean, Zootopia. I really like what you mentioned, like the world building and all the characters and stuff in it. So it'll be cool to visit more of that stuff as well. I've never seen Princess and the Frog.
Oh,
Which is-
watch it with Shay. It's good.
Yeah,
It's a fun
Shay
movie.
Shay loves it. Shay, I'm pretty sure she's highly
Oh, it's
praised
good.
it, and she's wanted to watch it a few times. So we'll definitely have to watch that, and it's cool that they're doing more stuff for that one. And
There's
then
Pluto in it. It's so cool.
yeah, and then what was the one after Baymax?
Moana.
Yeah, Moana. I fucking love that movie. So I doubled down on what you said with all the cool lore and legends and stuff that they have in that show. So all good stuff.
Taylor.
Yeah, no, I think this is world building. I think it's a no-brainer. Just keep on building onto these stories and these continuations. I think it does justice because again, like the generation that was here for Moana and here for again like even the Princess and the Frog, a lot of these kids they've grown older and I'm not saying like those kids that watched Moana have kids of their own now because that was still a very new
Whoa,
movie.
what's happening?
But-
no. Safe sex. Kid.
It's cool because like they could have like siblings or something, and they get to share their appreciation for those franchises with their siblings now. And I just think it's a great way to carry that on. And Baymax definitely has a big following, and or Big Hero 6 has a big following. So I think that's very cool for them to keep that up. And it just goes to show that Disney is not losing faith in their own IPs, that they're again willing to invest in it, because they've stated many times throughout this show they've seen people's trajectories and kind of like where people have gone on Disney Plus and what they've been kind of like tuning into a lot, and they can kind of like
Yeah.
tailor their storytelling
They're
to
watching those numbers.
They are watching those numbers, so that's what they're basing these new shows off of. And I think that's brilliant. Why not? Because it's giving people what they want.
Oh yeah, like Gwen like loves Frozen and all that stuff, but she absolutely loves Moana, so I can see that world just growing out. So we're going to take this will probably be our last ad break because we have a few more Pixar things to cover, but then we're covering the Marvel side of things, and we got some good stuff to talk about there too. So we will be right back. Okay. Yeah, Kirklin, you got a set timer. You're fine now. We're in the game. You were right. I was supposed to go a lot earlier, and I did not. We are back. 2 movies to talk about last with Pixar. They announced as far as they're coming out in 2022. Turning Red. This is from the director of Bao, that Pixar short film. She's getting her own feature film, so good for her because that's one that was really talked about. So it kind of makes sense that
it was awesome.
they'd want her to take on more. It follows a coming-age tale of a teenager who turns into a giant red panda. I don't know much about it, but I liked Bao, so I'm excited for that.
It sounds very similar to Bao, so I like it.
Yeah, it's gonna have some like play on like growing up and emotionality and stuff. But here is one that legitimately, that's why I'm wearing the shirt. I legitimately cried today when they announced this because I heard the music, and I was like, "What is this?" And they said, "Well, we're not making a Toy Story movie, but we've always wanted to make this movie." Kirkland, do you know about this movie yet?
Buzz.
Yeah, well, technically it's called Lightyear. It's called Lightyear. So this is going to be a movie.
50-50, and I got it wrong.
This is going to be a movie about Buzz Lightyear, but not the toy. The toy, or the man that the toy was based on. And it's going to be voiced by Chris Evans. And this is just a perfect way to carry on the Toy Story legacy. And Taylor will probably feel me, I hope. I was a massive Star Command fan. I'm not sure. Yes,
is that the show? Like the animated show? Okay,
yeah.
Yes, I love that one. Yeah.
Of Buzz Lightyear's Adventures, and that's why it's like that's what this is. But this is gonna get that fucking Pixar, like great animation, full budget. Like,
yeah, that's crazy.
This is, and with Chris Evans voicing it, this is it. And like I said, I just cried because one, I just kind of thought Toy Story was not dead. I watch them all the time, but it's just like, the way the 4 went is kind of like this is a closing. Like there's not much more. 4 was already pushing it of like what more they could do, and the way they closed off Woody's chapter, I was like, okay, this made sense why we did another one. But I was like, I don't know if there is more in this universe, and I love being in that universe. This is kind of like that, but a little bit different. And I just cried too because like next to Frozen, it's probably because I love it. My daughters love Toy Story, especially Gwen, and it's just like, when this movie comes out, I'm going to be seeing this with her. Like, I'm going to be taking her to a Toy Story film and stuff like that. And it's just like my whole like child wrapped into one. And I just think it's a fucking great idea. Like, you're milking Toy Story in extent, but you're not doing like, here's Toy Story 5. And then everyone's going to groan and go, oh, you're doing another Toy Story? Like, why? This is awesome. And you know what? I hope they do it with Woody one day too, with like the cowboy and everything. Like, I don't care, but like, I cannot wait to see this Lightyear movie. This is one of my most anticipated movies of all time. I'm so excited. Toy Story, the whole franchise. I got my.
He's getting his toys.
The full-on Buzz Lightyear Toy Story certified replica, wings that go whoosh, and the helmet that goes whoosh. Everything. Like, I cannot wait.
You're looking at 3-4-year-old Travis right now, folks.
Oh, 100%. I can't wait, and I'm just ecstatic. So, Taylor, what are you thinking about this?
Again, I think it's awesome. You could definitely say it's a way of milking it, but at the same time, I don't see it as milking it because it's just a totally different perspective and take for that character, and I think that's awesome. I'm very happy for you that you're getting this. I think it's just so cool.
This is my Rogue Squadron.
This is your Rogue Squadron, yeah. So I just think it's an awesome concept, an awesome idea. I'll never forget those. Like, I can't remember watching the shows, but I'll never forget just that aesthetic of those old animated shows of like Star Command and all that stuff. It's just it's cool, and you're gonna get why can't I remember his name? Zurg.
Oh my God, we're gonna get him like in fully Pixar.
Yeah.
I didn't even
Oh, yeah.
think about
It's
that.
gonna be so good.
Oh my God, we're gonna get that full-on Vader like origin story. You think they're gonna go with the canon that they are father and son?
I hope they do. That would be so good.
Oh my God, I can't wait. And to see that cast. Oh, Kirkland Patzer.
Yeah, no, I double down on the Star Command hype. I remember when I was younger, every single year we would go to Fairmont, I believe, and there was a little rec area where you could rent DVDs, and every single year we went there, I would rent the same Star Command DVD. My
The pilot one where it was like the first episode,
well,
or was it a bunch of episodes?
I want was there ever a movie, or is it only
Well,
the show?
they did a VHS of the movie, but that movie was actually two
Okay.
episodes put together as the pilot.
Okay, so it was definitely that, and it was VHS. It wasn't
Yeah.
DVD. Yeah, I'm remembering it now, but I remember
Because it
every
starts
single
with the
year.
Toy Story animation where they're like, let's
Yeah.
watch like Buzz. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, okay. Every single year we'd go there. I'd rent that exact same VHS, and I loved it. I thought it was so cool to just be, take that Toy Story character and go into what they're set on and like be in space and stuff. So I love that. And Chris Evans. I love Chris Evans. Love me some Chris Evans, and have that big budget Pixar animation. It's gonna be awesome. So I'm very excited. Very happy for you, Travis.
Oh
you,
yeah.
You too. Taylor's getting his squadrons. You're getting your Lightyear. So I just need my acolyte, my Darth Bane Sith movie or something.
It's coming one of these days.
Yeah.
And I will say, because it's not on Disney Plus, you cowards, put Star Command on there. You own it. This is the right
Absolutely.
time. So put that whole series on there so I can start watching my kids.
You
So
cowards.
they are cowards. Why wouldn't they put the Lightyear, like the Star Command up there? But so now we're at the Marvel section. This is another just crazy. So like I said, check out Marvel Alliance. I did some deep dives with those guys, so I will talk about them for sure. But I'm definitely more interested in you guys. Says WandaVision, January 15th. It's coming. What do you feel about this trailer? This was like our first. We've gone trailers before, but this felt like the kind of like what they call in video games, like a launch trailer. So we're like 36 days away. What do you guys think about this footage? Kirkland Patzer wants to go first. You have his hand up.
Absolutely, yes. Okay, this trailer out of all the trailers like blew my mind. Like
Right?
100%.
Mhm.
100%. I remember, I mean, whenever we saw the I think it was like either a poster or a teaser trailer or something for WandaVision, and I remember being like, I think I was the lowest out of all of us on it. I'm like, yeah, it's not really grabbing me into it, whatever. I had literally had goosebumps like in this trailer. Like I was like,
yeah.
holy shit! Like this is so intriguing to me. It looks so mind twisty. There's so many questions I have. I'm just so interested. Yeah, like they did such a good job with this trailer, especially considering how low I was. I mean, I'm not saying like I was like, oh, a show's gonna suck, but I just didn't really have hype on it. So this just totally cranked it up to 11 for me. Like everything about this trailer was so good. I love the aesthetic of it. I love how it was kind of breaking huge like mental, just like I feel like Wanda is just so mentally like unsecure
She's
and like
unstable for sure. She's
yeah,
on the brink
yeah.
of mind destruction. And it looks like
100%.
because they've said also we've known this for months, but she's now in I can't remember where they are, but she's filming her Doctor Strange stuff. So and she
I think it
seems
was
like
in
she might,
London, right?
right, yeah, and that's why some people we've talked about this might be the speculation of she's the cause of Toby and Andrew coming in. She's the cause of
Oh,
multiverse
that
madness.
makes
That
sense.
she
Yeah.
snaps or whatever it is. No,
100%.
no pun intended with the MCU, and that causes this ripple effect. And
Yeah,
and
that
that's
would
the
make
thing.
sense.
That's the thing I'm most interested about this trailer. My favorite line is when her and Vision are talking, and they're talking about their home, and she's like, "This is our home," and he goes, "Well, we have to protect it." So it's just like what we've speculated in Marvel Alliance elsewhere. It's just like it seems like she's maybe created like her own little universe by herself, and
Yeah.
like, and that's scary when she's living in this fake reality, but she wants to protect it. Not like, to me, the trailer would be, "Oh, I'm in this fake reality. We got to get out." No, she's saying this is our home and we have to save it. It's like,
Yeah.
oh no,
okay.
they're going down the
is-
wrong path.
Yeah, there is one moment too in the trailer that I actually just like got freaked out. Like it reminded me of like something like Get Out, sort of like really
Yeah.
like freaky. I think it was like one of the females, like side character or whatever. She just her character's like all smiley and it just breaks like instantly, and she just goes like really sad, like I don't know who I am or something, and then she goes back like very similar to Get Out, and I was just like, holy shit, man, this isn't what I was expecting this to be. Like I knew it was gonna be weird just from the aesthetic that we had, like very like 1950s, like perfect home and like family type setting, but oh, this is so interesting. I can't wait for it.
And I think that's gonna happen to a lot of people. I've said this before. I think this is gonna be like a Lost type of show where every week something weird's gonna happen, and you're gonna like
Yeah.
our spoilers reviews are gonna be fun because I think it's gonna be like,
Yeah.
well, what did this mean? What did this mean? And like I
Theory
just love
crafting and stuff.
yeah, and even in like the preview, it's showing them go through different generations. What they said is they're gonna cover like every generation of a sitcom. So like they actually filmed one episode or a few episodes with a live studio audience to get that like fake.
That's really
crowd.
cool.
So they're getting really weird. So Taylor, what did you think about this? Like I said, we're just a month and like 5 days away from some new MCU, which we haven't got MCU in over a year and a half with Spider-Man: Far From Home. It's been a
That's
long time.
crazy.
Yeah, you know, when they first announced this show, I was definitely interested, and then when I saw like first little clips for it, it wasn't really selling me. Like I thought, well, there's not a lot going on that really was pulling me in. It just seemed, again, like weird, wacky, but not in the way that I would like enjoy, I guess. Seeing this trailer totally changes my perspective because I like seeing this cohesive story and how the layers of these different scenarios are connected, and I love seeing how things are just breaking apart. That part where the neighbor knocks on the door and Wanda's like, "Who are you?" And she's like, "I don't know who I am." Like it's creepy. You're right, Kirkland. It is Get Out vibes. Like I'm picturing that one guy like doing the Get Out run or something.
No, Vision just comes out of nowhere in his little sweater.
Oh, but the show just looks like it has so much craziness going on, and this setup, as weird and wacky as it's gonna be, is gonna obviously set up. You're right, like that Spider-Man 3 and that multiverse of madness stuff, and I'm just. Again, this is how I'm looking at it, and I'm holding on to this idea that this is going to come true. And I know you know what I'm going to say, Travis, but this is like the first stepping stone to Ghost Rider coming into the MCU. I'm so like dead set on that's what's going to happen, and so I'm all for this wackiness. So let's bring it on, get crazy, do it.
Is that
Well,
a Taylor told you so? Is this show
yeah.
going to lead to Ghost? Okay.
Oh, there
Double
we go.
down.
Well, I
Stamp of
think-
approval.
For you too, and like the way you were describing it, Taylor, when you're like, "Oh, it just looks wild and wacky." I think why many people will be sold on this trailer is because it looks like fucked up and wacky now. It's that scary type of wacky where before it's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, they're having like a little adventure. Oh, that'll be fun, sure." But now it's like, "Oh no, something's going really wrong." Like at that end, we were talking about this, like, what is she doing with that Mind Stone? She's like repairing it, but then like it's just like, and she looks like disheveled. She looks emotionally upset. So she's like, is that her breaking point? Is that the beginning of the show where she's decided I'm just gonna recreate a fake Vision? Like, it's there. It's gonna get trippy and it's gonna be sad because she's pregnant, and I guarantee you those kids, they're gonna be born, but something really bad is gonna happen to those kids. And I think that's part of the reason why I've been saying that for years, that I think those kids are goners and the kids are coming. And because we've seen her pregnant, we haven't seen the actual kids, but I just feel like that would be another tipping point for her. And if she creates this family and kids and none of it's real, might be a bummer. So
yeah. This shows. I feel like it's just got a lot of potential because like from the very like sitcom-y type scenes that we saw, like they looked very comedic. Very like they had like the funny little effects. You had the what are they called? Just the audience laughter and stuff like that. But then when it was like starting to kind of break and start to like something's wrong here, and then I was getting goosebumps. Like I was like, wow, like this is really what I was not, or sorry, this was really not what I was expecting. So I'm very, very excited for that.
And then after that, we got a bunch of casting announcements. Doctor Strange, Rachel McAdams coming back, and then me and Taylor. You can check out last week.
Rachel.
Feud.
Jesus Christ.
Her name was Christina. Christina.
Oh, was it actually?
Yeah,
Okay.
I guess her real name's Rachel. You're thinking Batman Begins. Hang on,
100% was.
Rachel.
It sounded right in my
Christina.
mind, but it's because of Batman. Yeah.
And then obviously they didn't confirm anything, but they confirmed that Doctor Strange connected to Spider-Man, like they've been saying. But they also said Spider-Man 3 will explore the multiverse. So there's been a bunch of rumors. You can check out the latest episode of Marvel Alliance. Taylor was on that with me, so we obviously were all for it. But Kirklin, any quick thoughts on Well, you were off Facebook. You saw these rumors, right? They come out this week of Kirsten Dunst and Emma Stone and all this, like all these people that are supposedly coming back. Have you seen that yet?
I saw the Kristen Dunst one, but I feel
Mhm.
like that was longer ago.
Well, these are reported on by like bigger scoopers now. So like
Okay.
Doc Ock's coming back, Emma Stone's coming back, Kirsten Dunst, Andrew
So no,
Garfield, and Tobey Maguire has been seen at the costume fittings as well. So they're pretty much all coming back.
Yeah, so I feel like originally it was just like the rumor of Kristen Dunst as well as Toby, but now, I mean, it sounds like it's pretty much confirmed. This is very, very exciting. I feel like it's just bringing all the generation of Spider-Man that I've been alive for. So this is just really cool. The biggest hitter for me is Toby for sure, as well as Kristen Dunst. I feel like she'll always be my MJ in my mind. Like that first time I saw Spider-Man 1, you know, like what year was that? 2002 or something like that.
2002, the Upside Down Kiss.
Just, like gotta be many boys just crush on that on that scene. Come on now, but yeah, I'm very excited.
Kirkland, I got a question for you. Who's your Gwen Stacy? Is it Bryce Dallas Howard or Emma Stone?
Neither. The animated one, actually. 1990.
Oh, curveball, Haley Steinfeld. There you go. I was gonna say,
Yeah.
I bet you he didn't even remember Bryce Dallas Howard was a Gwen Stacy. If he
I
would've
did
said,
actually.
Oh,
Well,
did
like,
you?
I wouldn't have originally, like if you just got me to name them, but as soon as you said her name, I pictured her and I totally forgot that it was her in those films, and she just seems so young. Like I don't know, like now I just picture her as a not an old
great
woman, but-
Mandalorian director.
An old woman. Oh my god.
Wow.
I didn't say old woman. I meant just a more mature woman.
So speaking of something completely different to this topic, Falcon and Winter Soldier is coming out March 19th. So we talked about this Marvel Alliance, but this is kind of either they have shifted some things or some rumors were true. But for a while, there was some rumors going around that they could not release Winter Soldier and Falcon till after Black Widow because Black Widow has some connection stories. So either that is not true or they've just said fuck it, or they found some way to rework some things because Black Widow's sister Yelena is in Falcon Winter Soldier. She's Florence Pugh, who's going to be in it, so that was confirmed. So that's where it's like, okay, she clearly survives that movie. So this is coming out March 19th. So literally you get WandaVision January 15th. That's going to go on for a month and a half. And then like literally within less than a month, you'll get Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Thank God.
Well, like, and then like to spoil the date, but like, and then Loki comes out in May, which is going to go like, so it's like, let's say, what is it? So January, February, and then March, Falcon Winter Soldier picks up, ends in April, then Loki, and then they said What If is going to be in the summer. So like 8 months, you're going to get like 4 Marvel shows, like almost back to back pretty much. So we are going to be eating good. It's going to be fun review time.
We'll be back to Star Wars after that. Like 2 months, it'll be Star Wars popping off again too with trailers and then into December. So, I mean...
Yeah. It's going to be good after 2020 of missing some stuff. But we got the trailer for Falcon Winter Soldier. Like I said, it is March 19th. Kevin Feige literally said this is a cinematic event. And he said this is a 6-hour movie split into episodes. So obviously can just be, you know, a little like just a little lip service, you know, a little, what do they call in the porn industry? Fluffing. Yeah, a little fluffing. But you know, I feel like he didn't say that about the rest of them. He said that specifically about this. And to me, they all looked high budget. And this is what Taylor, you know, I definitely think Mandalorian Season 2 has stepped up. But Mandalorian Season 1 at times I felt it was a little cheap. And I said, I can't wait to see MCU. These trailers to me have all felt like MCU movie quality budgets. But this one particularly did feel, and maybe because Kevin Feige like supplanted that idea in my mind, but this looked like a movie quality. And this is everything I want. I can't wait to see Falcon and Winter Soldiers back and forth. The action looked great. I compared it to like a Bourne Identity sort of spy thriller that's going to be. And I love the tribute of Falcon jumping out of the plane, just like Captain America and Winter Soldier. I don't know. And then you got the girl from Solo just playing another masked character. Did you recognize her, Taylor?
The girl from Solo?
Remember the little girl who plays, what's her, Optimus Prime or whatever?
Oh, Enfys Nest.
FSMS. She's playing in this one another masked character, but this just looks great. And I honestly, the most things I'm happy about this, I'm so happy about trailers. They all look fantastic, but I'm happy we got a date. Finally, we know March 19th. That's a good thing with these streaming shows. Theaters, Black Widow, everything, those can get pushed back. The streaming shows, no, we know those are coming out. So, Taylor, what do you think about fucking Winter Soldier, the first trailer?
totally sold me. I mean, it just looked awesome. You're right. Like, it totally looked like it was big movie budget. I mean, I feel like even if like Disney was like, we're gonna cut some costs here. I feel like Feige's the kind of man like, I'll pay out of pocket. It's all good. We're gonna get that big movie budget. So, I like
Out
how
of
they,
pocket.
I like how they worded the like, 6 hour like a cinematic experience kind of thing. I feel like that's exactly what they were trying to preach with the Snyder cut, and
100%.
Feige just sugarcoated it like, yeah, we're doing that. And everyone's like, yes. So this is gonna be just awesome. I'm so beyond ecstatically excited for this series. I am more excited for this over WandaVision, I will say at this point, just because like I love this kind of like, as you said, like that Bourne kind of world. I love that kind of aesthetic, and this show just has it. It looks so good. That scene where Falcon is just dodging the missiles and going through all the rocks and stuff was so cool. I can't wait to see Bucky just popping off here, and I can't wait to see obviously the political dilemma that's going to unfold in this show, and just like the
Oh, yeah.
debacle that's going to unfold with Cap's shield and everything that's going to be tied to that. I'm so stoked. I'm happy Baron Zemo's coming back. I think that's going to be cool to see what happens there. And yeah, it's just, again, it's more connectedness into the overall MCU. So
Absolutely. Yeah. Just to double up what you guys said, it definitely felt like, I feel like out of all the trailers, this trailer reminded me of like an Avengers trailer that I've already seen before, a Captain America trailer that I've already seen before, something like that. And I'm not trying to like take it away from like quality or anything, but I feel like my hype level is probably the lowest, honestly, out of all the shows that we saw, just because the trailer was very similar to something that I had already seen before. We haven't talked about Loki yet, but when we get there, I'll just say like how different that one felt to what I was expecting or something like that. And then we just talked about WandaVision. That one was just crazy. It had me just totally mind blown. So I'm not trying to shit talk it or anything. It looks amazing. It looks very cool. I feel like this is a pairing that like years ago I probably wouldn't have paired these two together, but I think they have really good on-screen chemistry together. I think it'll be funny. I think it'll be very exciting and all that stuff. So that so I think it's gonna be great. I was expecting to see a shield at some point in this trailer. Didn't happen, but it'll happen sometime in the show.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
I don't think I don't think he has the shield on right now, unfortunately. So
Oh, okay.
I think somebody else might have that. You'll have to find out who.
Yeah, I'll stay tuned.
Loki coming out May. You can start because you're talking about Loki, how different it felt.
Yeah.
How was that going for you?
Yeah, so I think it's just because I didn't hear like any like hints or rumors or anything about what this show would be. I think there's a lot of speculation on if it was gonna be like a young Loki or something like that. But this just is really different and really weird. I have so many questions. I don't know what any of the locations that there are like. I think it was like TVA or TGA was
The TVA. This is why
TVA.
go listen to Marvel Alliance, and those comic book guys just break the fuck out of it down. So always check those out.
Absolutely.
But yeah,
So,
the Time
I'll check
Variance
that out.
Association. They're kind of like time cops. If you're messing with time, they're gonna come find you. And obviously Loki is maybe messing with time. So yeah, that looks like they've maybe captured him to do their bidding.
Yeah, so really, really excited for this one. Actually, I am just Owen Wilson in this so just caught me like by surprise. I just kind of chuckled just seeing him there with Loki. I just for some reason it just made me laugh. It's never a casting I would have thought would happen, like Owen Wilson being in in a Marvel property. But
Yeah.
I'm very, very excited. All the shots that were very different, whether it was him in the airplane with like slick back hair and like looking all different, or like the scene that we had right at the very end was hilarious because it basically I felt like he was just talking to me because he's like, "Oh, what do you expect?" I'm like, I don't even know what I was expecting from this show, but this definitely wasn't it. So I love this trailer. It's got me so excited. I feel like all the shots they showed didn't really reveal too much because I already have so many questions. I'll have to listen to your guys' Geek Ultimate Alliance for that one. So yeah, just I'm so excited to see this series.
Yeah, because on that one, for people that didn't know, we did like the trailer watch longs. We break them down. We like pause, and it's interesting because there's one shot. I'm not sure if Taylor's seen it. One, I love like the visual in this, but there's like a shot of someone that looks a lot like Black Widow, but she's from behind, so we don't really know. And it's just it's strange, but they're making lots of great like Easter egg things like that end point where he has like the button where it says vote. In one of the comic books, Loki runs for president and stuff like that. So for the comic books, there's like lots of little stuff that they're pulling from. It seems like so it's gonna be and I brought this up on Marvel Alliance where it's just like I'm very interested when he says like Hemdell and like Big Brother like get ready, and it's just like I didn't think these people would be in the show. I'm not saying Chris Hemsworth will be in the show, but it's like him even alluding to them right now. It's very interesting because again, this is an Endgame. We got to see different dimensions. This is our first show in a different parallel universe. Loki, this is somewhere else where he's alive and he's escaped with the Tesseract, and it's just I don't know. It seemed like what this trailer did is shows that the potential for this show is limitless, and I really like that. And the rumor is that it's actually already been renewed for season 2, and they're filming it next year.
Nice.
So clearly, if that's the case, they like the show. Everyone loves Tom Hiddleston as Loki. It's just one of those castings that people just were like, "Yeah, I'm down for." So, Taylor, what do you think about this trailer?
This is probably my most favorite trailer of these of all these Marvel ones that we've had.
The Marvel 4,
Yeah, the Marvel 4. I think that it like you said, Kirkland, like I don't know what to expect. Like it's just so it's crazy. Everything that they were doing, it was awesome. I love seeing Owen Wilson in this, and I loved because I felt like I was getting like a Mission Impossible vibe almost mixed with something else that I can't even put a word on. But
Feige described it as a crime thriller, even though it looks a lot more wild than just a crime thriller. But I guess it's that sort of like you said, Mission Impossible, where it's like secret agents, him trying to evade stuff. Like it does kind of have that sort of like ticking clock element where he has to beat something. And there's one moment too, if you go back and look, because it's an alternate dimension, is if you pause, it's that saying, you guys should definitely do this. You can see the Black Widow, but then there's also, it looks like he's in New York, but a destroyed New York. And people are speculating. Yeah, and people are speculating in this dimension because stuff went wild and he took the Tesseract that destroyed, because you can see Avengers Tower in the background and it's completely broken down. Is it just a vision? Maybe, but we are an alternate timeline, and that's where you can do this type of stuff. And imagine if we are in this movie and in his timeline, the Avengers lost, and how different things could be if that's the case. And I just fucking love what ifs and stuff like that. And that's what I love about the show already. It's just like so intriguing.
Do you think, like, I'll just cap off my thing here before I give you a question. I'm super excited for this show. I think it's going to be great, and I cannot wait to see it. But that being said, do you feel like that they're maybe after season 2 they tie this in with bringing Loki back into the main MCU into Doctor Strange? Okay.
I think he'll make his way back. I think he's so popular of a character, it's tough not to. And Feige, they didn't say it this time, so maybe the things changed. Maybe they want to keep it secret. But they have said in the past that Loki connects with WandaVision and Doctor Strange, because that's also multiverses. So I feel that at some point Loki will make his way back into the main MCU. The thing is, he's a different consciousness, so his brother will have all these different memories that he doesn't, and vice versa. But I think so.
Good question. I'll raise my hands for the official.
Oh, good.
Do we know how long the WandaVision show is like supposed to run?
We've heard 8 to 9 episodes, but those might be more like strictly half an hour. So I would say, to be safe, anywhere from 6 to 9. I think it is more than 6, but let's say 6 to 9.
And just one season, right?
Or as of right now, they've never said like limited series, but they've never said it's continuing. And they've even said there's been stuff about Falcon Winter Soldier, but might have a different name. Some people might think it's Thunderbolts, like they'll be putting together some sort of team. But as of right now, it seems like Loki's the only one rumored to have a second season. But lots of these shows are just starting to film, like Miss Marvel, She-Hulk, like they literally, and same thing with Wanda, just wrapped. Falcon Winter Soldier just wrapped. So this one, as of right now, seems like it's the prime one for season 2.
Yeah, the reason I asked, because if we eventually want to get Loki, to a destination, we have a spot to end on. Like we know where we want him to end. I'm speaking from the point of view of like the showrunners, the people that are making the show, especially if they let's run with that theory that Wanda does lead to this huge collapse of the dimensions and like brings all these Tobys in, like these different characters. I'm not saying multiple Tobys, but the
oh yeah, just a bunch of portal scene of just Toby.
But just these different like these different characters coming together, and like I'd be lying if I wasn't thinking that maybe it was Wanda that brings Loki to this big event. It's a possibility. So, but like if you have that, you kind of want those shows to be rounding out. So that's why I was asking how long, if we knew how long these shows would kind of be running for. But
I
it
could
seems like
always
Loki's going to be going for more than one. So
Yeah, and I could always see him go pop in the main timeline and then be like, well, there's still something I got to finish over
right,
there. And that's
yeah,
what
that's a
season
good
two could
point.
be, right? Because once they introduce this time travel and jump in universes, it's like the genie's in the bottle. It can't go back in. It's just out there. So,
Absolutely, yeah.
and then after that, we got What If. I don't think they showed too much new stuff other than like it all looked really great. They showed one thing which I'm still trying to rack my brain what it is. It was like Doctor Strange fighting an evil Doctor Strange. So I'm
I
not
thought
sure
it
what
was
that.
like it looked like Morbius, and I thought, what if that was like Doctor Strange Morbius or something?
I don't think it's gonna be Morbius.
Well,
Kirkland Patzer of Greek
what
first.
what was I like how you keep announcing me like that. But now I might get this wrong because I haven't played it in a while. But Ultimate Alliance
Yep.
3, you fight like an evil Doctor Strange, don't you? Is that Dormammu like controlling Doctor Strange?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
it could just be
is that
that. But
yeah,
but
it
the
could be that.
difference was it was you as heroes fighting Doctor Strange. This is Doctor Strange fighting another Doctor Strange. Like
Yeah.
Stephen Strange fighting Stephen Strange. So it's like a clone or a copy of himself. So
Yeah.
that's what's interesting. And
Okay.
there's one other thing I haven't done pause freeze frame on it yet, but there's one other story where it's showing Thor and then showing like Loki and Asgard. I'm wondering if they're gonna do an episode of like if Loki picked up the hammer or had Midgard or something like that. But then this has been confirmed that this is gonna be Chadwick Boseman's last performance as Black Panther. But just seeing this is what I love about What If. Just seeing Yondu and Kid T'Challa talk was just like, this is so much fun, and to get these
Yeah.
mix of characters you never thought could happen just because it didn't make sense in the main continuity. And I love this idea of they pick him up accidentally instead of Peter Quill, and that is just like. I cannot wait to see T'Challa as Star Lord, and just like
Yeah.
everything we had, like little more. We had more previews of the Captain Britain episode with Steve becoming Iron Man, so we got a little bit more. But again, this art style I liked it before, but it just grows on me more and more. And I just like that it literally has like I feel like a story, like a kid's story kind of telling book. Like when I see Gwen's book and I look at this, it looks kind of similar to that, but in a good way. It just feels very, because it is What If, so it's like almost like a whimsical, like, oh, this magical adventure. And I love it. And this one's summer of next year, and I can't wait. This is obviously doesn't have the same stakes as other shows affecting the universe, but I think this is just gonna be one every time we review it. I think every week we're gonna have so much fun. Just be like, man, this was awesome.
Oh yeah, 100%. I remember when we were just episodes ago when we were talking about like our most hyped for these Disney shows that were going to be coming out. This was like way up on my list. I am so excited for this. I love animated shows, and this animation, it's grown on me the more I've seen it. I remember just originally hearing like Peggy Carter picking up like the Captain Britain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like just her suit looks so awesome. When I saw her riding on like Iron Man's back, like that was just so hype, and I'm just so excited to see all these what ifs. And yeah, the biggest one was T'Challa talking to Yondu. That was just so hype. Something I never would have imagined, and I'm just so excited for this show. There's gonna be so many cool little I don't know, switch arounds and stuff like that. So
Oh yeah. Taylor Field.
Yeah, I'm super excited for this show. I can't wait. I love that they have these alternative timelines. I think it's awesome. Uh, yeah, it's just gonna be awesome. There's a little bit ago when they announced the show, they had all these different like. Of course, it was fan art. I thought it was real, but they had like Black Panther as the rider and stuff, and it like blew my mind. So like, if by some slim chance that they slip something in there like that, I'd totally be down, because you could put the rider on any Marvel character, and it would look awesome. Like you have like Venom as the rider, it would look awesome.
I was just gonna say Venom Rider. I'm pretty sure I've seen that fan art.
But I do want to shout out the animation particularly, because I remember when they first announced this and revealed a little bit of it. I feel like what I saw with the animation, I wasn't like overly excited for. I thought it was going to be very different, but seeing this has me so excited and so hyped, because it just looks awesome. I can't wait to see the combat and everything. That brief scene that we got to obviously see with like undead Captain America and Bucky was just so cool. I can't wait to see that story unfold. Like it's awesome. I'm so pumped.
And then we got some castings confirmed. So finally, Haley Steinfeld, even though there's fucking set photos of her, it's confirmed for Kate Bishop. Like I was saying earlier, and I was worried about this Marvel Alliance. Oscar Isaac has not yet been confirmed as Moon Knight, but scoopers are still saying that's the case. So it's probably just ironing out some deals and whatnot. They cast who was it else? Oh, Tatiana Maslany officially as She-Hulk. They showed some Miss Marvel footage. They announced officially Miss Marvel will be in Captain Marvel 2. So that's very cool. They officially confirmed that Christian Bale is going to be the villain of Thor: Love and Thunder, and he's playing Gore the God Butcher. So look up the character on Google to see what he's like, and you'll be like, wow, Christian Bale is playing. It's if you're looking at it right now, it's Gorr the God Butcher, and that's who Christian Bale is playing. And it's just crazy that I would have never thought he would do an MCU movie or a Disney movie or stuff like that. It's just kind of crazy. And then we got yeah, a pretty crazy character, right? And then Taylor and I were the most excited maybe about this one of these. Tim Roth, Bruce Banner coming back for She-Hulk, but Tim Roth as Abomination will be back in She-Hulk. I'm of course excited for She-Hulk. I have not read that character that much, but I'm happy Bruce in there. But the second they talk about Abomination, man, that got me up even more. So, Taylor, what do you think about this? This is something we've been calling for a while. Shouts to Dylan Musk, who fucking hates Abomination. But you know what? We love Abomination. I love the Incredible Hulk movie. Yeah. And, yeah, he's coming back as Abomination for She-Hulk.
Oh, yeah. Incredible Hulk is one of the, like, top 10 MCU films. Like, it's so good. And it's just... It's just awesome, and the fact that we got, I know we talked about it a few, like, probably like a year ago, them trying to set up like what was it, Brainiac and Tim Roth, and they were like playing with the idea of their rumors or something like that, but to actually have
Well,
it,
yeah,
like,
I think Thunderbolts, if they were looking at villains they could bring back.
yeah. So now that we have it like concrete, like just stated, like, yeah, Tim Roth is coming back as Abomination. I'm so unbelievably excited, especially because like the technology for like the Hulk and how he visually looks has come so far and looks so good now. So to get Abomination and what he's gonna look now is so awesome, and to have an Abomination like over a span of what, like 10 years now, like into the future, what he's gonna be like popping off with and looking like, I can't.
Oh, even longer
wait.
though, because remember MCU is 5 years ahead of us. So it's
Right.
2023 in their timeline, so they're further ahead. So it's been, because what Incredible Hulk was 2008, so it has been like 15 years since we've seen Abomination in timeline wise. So
I can't wait. That's gonna be so awesome.
Kirklin, you hyped?
Yeah, not as much as you guys. Not as much as you guys, but not as low as Dylan. That's for sure.
So we also had 3 shows announced, and I'll just give you all of them, and you can tell me which ones you want to talk about. We had Ironheart. This stars Riri Williams. This is the person that takes over for Iron Man. She's like this young student that is like kind of not the exact same as Miss Marvel, but looks up to Iron Man a little bit and takes on this persona. She builds a suit very much like some Iron Man. We have Secret Invasion, which apparently Ironheart and Secret Invasion are going to have some sort of tying together, almost like those Star Wars shows. Secret Invasion is starring Samuel Jackson as obviously Nick Fury, but then Ben Mendelsohn is coming back as Talos from Captain Marvel 2. So Secret Invasion, if you don't know, I've told you guys before, but this is about the Skrulls invading Earth, and they start posing as different characters and heroes. So that is what this show is about. And we don't know for sure, but it could lead in Captain Marvel 2 and making another like kind of big event movie. And then I can't believe this is happening, but Don Cheadle is starring in Armor Wars. It's based on an old like Iron Man storyline where a villain, I'm not going to say too much and whatnot, but let's say a bad guy gets Tony Stark's tech, and it's about what happens if his tech ends up in the wrong hands. And I'm excited for all these. My quick thoughts are Secret Invasion. I never thought it would be a TV show. I thought it'd be a movie, so I'm very interested. I'm just happy Nick Fury's getting a TV show. They're using Sam Jackson more. Ironheart, I worry it's a little too soon, but some people point out to me, like, by the time this comes out, like, Iron Man will get a bunch of movies. There'll be time so it won't feel too bad. I just worry, like, oh, Iron Man just passed away. Is that too much? And Armored Wars, honestly, I'm just like, it's weird to see someone even say that, but I'm just happy Don Cheadle's getting his own show. Like, Don Cheadle as Rhodey I like that character, but I've always wanted a bit more from him. I thought he'd always be a supporting character, but this is his time to shine. And this is the perfect place, Disney Plus, and I don't know how long it's going to be, what it's going to be about, but with these shows, like, look at She-Hulk, where it's like, oh, I'm excited for it, but it's like, oh, now there's Bruce Banner. And, oh, there's Tim Roth. And even then they said, like, oh, and there might be other heroes that pop up. There's all these Daredevil rumors. You don't think she's gonna bump into another lawyer potentially there that's named Matt Murdock. So it's just like they always add little things to these shows. So even Armor Wars, where it's like, okay, just with Don Cheadle, how are we gonna do this? But I guarantee you, Gwyneth Paltrow could be in it. Happy Hogan, maybe a good villain, some other characters. So, what do you guys think about that? Ironheart, Secret Invasion, and Armor Wars.
Out of all those, I'd say I'm the most excited for the Secret Invasion. Just around the time when Captain Marvel was out, I remember you telling us about that, and it just really piqued my interest. Kind of, them posing as different heroes and causing a whole ruckus with that. So the other ones, kind of, I don't know. I'll see more and then probably get more interested near the time that they come
those
around.
ones I think are more deep cuts for like the comic book fans, where we go, oh, we know what that is. But I think it'll be like the WandaVision. Like once you see a good trailer, you're probably like, okay, I'm in.
Yeah, no, for sure. And like,
what do you think about Cheeto getting his own show though?
That's really cool. I've definitely grown to like that character more and more. I remember the first time I saw him on screen, I'm like, that's not the guy that was in the last film. What is this? And like, he's definitely come a long way, because I really feel like he's carried that character, made it his own, and really, like, it's good to see a side character like that able to really get the spotlight. So that's really cool.
Have you seen that meme where that original actor who played Rhodey was like, he's like, next time, baby, and then below it says last online like 10 years ago or something?
That one's
You gotta
so
find
good.
that meme. You
That
gotta
one's
find that
so
meme.
good.
What about you,
Yeah.
Tim? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, that's it. I'm just agreeing
Okay.
to the meme. That's hilarious.
Next time, baby.
Yeah, no, I'm very excited. I think these shows, why not? Again, pop off with more shows. I'm so pumped with
Yeah.
this. Like Secret
We're
Invasion.
paying for Disney Plus anyways.
Yeah, we're paying for Disney Plus, so give us that content. I'm excited for Secret Invasion. I think that's cool. I don't know, we talked about that before. The Skrulls kind of taking over roles and characters' lives. I think that's super awesome. Armor Wars, that sounds right up my alley. I'm all about that. So
that sounds like a tailor-made show.
Oh yeah, again in Iron Man 2 when Rhodey and Tony were in that like little like greenery area, and all the hemorrhoids came and landed, as Tony calls them, and they all landed and we're going to
The
town.
hemorrhoids.
The hemorrhoids, yeah. Oh, I love that scene. That's so. Oh my God, that was the longest time. That was my background screensaver on my phone, like, or my wallpaper on my phone is so good. But sign me up. Ironheart, definitely. By the time that comes out, like you said, like we'll have gotten over the death of Iron Man, just like Peter Parker did. So.
There you go. And then they are going to be filming this during Guardian of the Galaxy Volume 3. James Gunn is writing and directing the Guardians Galaxy Holiday Special. So isn't this fun? As you can check out on Patreon, we just did the Holiday Special for Star Wars, and we watched the Lego one. We talked a bit about that, which was very enjoyable. But what do you guys think? And I'm guessing Kirklin just found the next time baby meme. Did you find that on your computer, Kirkland?
No, I just Googled.
Oh, on your computer though?
Yeah.
Yeah, screen share it so they can see. We can actually do this
Oh.
now. Look at that. So he's probably like, he has to close all his porn. But Taylor, what do you feel about we're getting a holiday special with Guardians of the Galaxy? We're all about holiday specials this season.
All about holiday specials, yeah.
So.
Have you seen this?
I don't know if that's. Oh, it's not coming up on my end here.
Oh,
but
right. I'm
don't
sorry.
worry, I can.
No,
I can make it come up. Actually,
you don't have to. You don't have to. But if you can, great. Well, you do that, Kirkland. What do you feel about we're getting a Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special?
I feel like that really makes sense. Just for like that ensemble, I feel like it's kind of like I want to give it like the PG-13 because they do make some edgy jokes every once in a while, but I do feel like everyone would kind of get that humor, whether you're your mom, you're the son or something like that. I feel like everyone will kind of enjoy that humor. So I feel like that really fits. I like all those characters. So yeah, just something about it. I feel like it really fits the holiday special.
Okay, you can turn off last online. Love it. In the
I
ears.
think I gotta leave it to close this out here. It's so good.
I just can't think of anything else.
Yeah, no, I think again the holiday special. I think that's awesome. I think it's really good. My main excitement. Travis is punching himself.
So I've been podcasting since 6, so I'm going crazy.
My highlight for the holiday special is just Drax. I can't wait to see Drax in this and
Oh
like the stuff
yeah.
he's gonna do. It's gonna be so good. Dave Bautista's gonna pop off hard.
Okay, and then finally, in our last few announcements, we got Ant-Man and the Wasp with the title last online 11 years ago. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. So just the cast is coming back. Kane the Conqueror is going to be in it, so some confirmation there. But I just love that title. They're just getting fucking hype and crazy with it. They officially said, so you guys can say something about Ant-Man if you want, but they officially, Kevin Feige said that they will not be recasting Black Panther in Black Panther 2. It'll instead focus on the world and the characters. Obviously, we've not really talked about this on Geek First. I've been in the camp where I think one day you can recast them. My pitch has always been you bring in T'Challa from a different multiverse, and that way you can say, oh, that's why it's a different actor, because it's the multiverse. Like, okay, but I think we are clearly, and some people disagree, that's fine. I just think some people are still not ready for that, and I think that's the best thing to do is don't recast right now. I think the wound is it's too new. So I think this is the best route to focus on whatever they're going to do. And yeah, but I think that it's also good for them to say that so people stop speculating on what's going to happen with it. It's just out there like, hey, we're not recasting. We're going to focus on other characters and we're going to do it in tribute of him. So Kirklin, you agree with the choice? Disagree? What do you think?
Yeah, I do agree with the choice, actually. I was very, I mean, I'm sure I was like many people out there. I was speculating on what they were going to do. I figured they were going to have to just recast him just because $1 billion movie, there's going to have to be sequels. That's literally like the title is that character. So I kind of figured they were going to have to. I figured that they would wait some time to do that. But I really respect the decision. I feel like Chadwick Boseman really made that role him. I feel like, honestly, he had, again, unfortunately, we didn't get him as long as we had like Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, but like I feel like he really had that Downey effect on that character, and I affiliate him with that, and it's extremely tragic what happened, and I condolences to all of his family and everyone out there that was affected closely with him, but it's really sad, but I definitely give them credit though because. Fuck you guys. What are you laughing at? Worst time to be laughing.
Well, you should have sent the meme in front of the stupid car.
You sent that meme.
Okay, so it's my fault as I'm doing my emotional little speech here. But no, big shouts out to them for making that announcement. It definitely will silence the people constantly, asking them what they're gonna do or when they're gonna make this announcement. So, but yeah, I definitely respect the decision, and personally, I agree with it.
Travis, when you laugh, you're making me laugh.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, for them to, like, I oppose the idea of replacing T'Challa.
I oppose.
I oppose. I think Chadwick Boseman, like,
he's like, I oppose this decision. You better not do it.
I think that it's he lived and breathed that role, and I think like you don't replace him. I think you can honor him, and you can honor that world that he was a part of by building those stories with other characters and focusing on the culture and the other features that they were trying to tackle and the stories they were trying to deliver in that film. So I think I like 110%. I'm going to support a Black Panther 2. I think it's awesome. I have no doubt what they do with the story. It's going to be awesome. It's going to lead to more stories, and I can't wait. Again, like his performance was second to none, and I can't wait to see his performance again and what he was able to do in the What If series. Yeah, it is, like you said, Kirkland, it is very sad that he passed, and the things that he did while he was sick, it's legendary. It truly is. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then that they said that's coming out July 20th, 2022. So no more other details on that. Kind of made sense. Not really the place to drop it, but I'm sure we'll find some stuff. I said this Marvel Alliance disappointment. They showed Blade, but they just said no details yet. We're just working really hard on it. I was like, fuck, all right, what a cock tease that was. But hopefully soon. Then finally, They announced, people have speculated, when is it coming? Are we going to get it as a series? Are we going to get Doom first? Kevin Feige has announced that Fantastic Four is coming with John Watts to direct. If you don't know who John Watts is, he is the director of Cop Car. He's the director of Clown, but most importantly, he's the director of Spider-Man Homecoming and Spider-Man Far From Home. So he is going to, and obviously Spider-Man 3, whatever the fuck it's called. So he's going to be transitioning over to Fantastic Four. So Taylor, what are your base thoughts of one, Fantastic Four officially coming as a film? We have a director. Yeah.
It has me super excited. I was thinking back, like actually, I'll say this point after. Fantastic Four coming back is super exciting. I am very happy it's in the hands of the MCU and the hands of Feige and this new director. I think that they're going to do wonders with it. To have them connect with our characters that we're familiar with Avengers and stuff is just freaking awesome. I'm so pumped. And again, we're going to get Doom in here. Like, this is just going to be absolutely awesome. Bring Silver Surfer in. We're going to get some crazy scenarios. I want it all. Yes, please, Feige. But now to my other prediction, or not prediction, my other thing here, it would have been so weird if they did go down the path of bringing in, again, like your Gwen Stacy's and your Kristen Dunsts and all that stuff for different universes. And then we bring in like the Chris Evans Human Torch. Then we bring in like the bad Fantastic Four movie characters into the MCU. Like, I know they would never touch that with a 100-foot pole, but it just would be interesting.
What now, Kirklin? What about you? Obviously, Fantastic Four hasn't had the greatest luck on film so far, but MCU's they're gonna give it a shot, and they're gonna try it a third time's a charm, right? So I know there's been three, but like three separate franchises. So and obviously you like those Spider-Man films, so John Watts is probably a good choice for you, I would imagine.
Oh, absolutely. I feel like, especially him already having his toes wet with some Spider-Man stuff in there, I feel like hopefully we'll get some good chemistry between, I at least I know, like, what's his name? Johnny Blaze. I almost called him
Johnny Storm.
Yeah,
Johnny Blaze.
Johnny Storm, he's got good like relationship with Peter Parker. I know, like, in the comic books, those guys appear a lot together. So I love when different, I don't know, superheroes kind of come in contact with each other and stuff like that. And I really love, I don't know what quality they stand by. Maybe we'll have to do a retro one day, but I love those original Fantastic Fours with like Chris Evans and stuff. Oh, I do. Definitely.
Oh, we're definitely doing a retro. Don't worry about that.
I was definitely like at the right age. I feel like when they came out, like I was just young and overjoyed to be seeing this, and just, I loved it. Yeah. So, Sue Storm, all that stuff. I really liked it. So I never saw the newer ones with Michael B. Jordan and Miles Teller. Yeah.
So go ahead.
Nope, I'm pretty much done.
I was going to ask you guys the same question that I asked the Marvel Alliance people. Now, do you think it's peculiar at all that Spider-Man is signed on for this deal with Marvel? We've heard nothing else more so far as it extending. He's signed on for one film. Obviously, that's happening, and then one crossover. We don't know what that is, but we're sure maybe this is it. Maybe it's Captain Marvel 2, maybe it's something else, whatever. Do you find it intriguing at all that John Watts is directing third Spider-Man, but now he is in transitioning to Fantastic Four? And I would feel like whether it is Sony making it or Sony and MCU Marvel making it, there will be a Spider-Man for Tom Holland. But you would assume now that he is doing this with Fantastic Four, he won't be directing that movie. So what the theory I was proposing for some people that believe that this Spider-Man is the last big send-off the right man of the MCU or whatnot, do you think this gets us any closer to people to that theory? Because in their mind, hey, you're not going to be directing Spider-Man anymore because we're not going to have Spider-Man, but we want you to direct one of our things. Because why wouldn't he be? Maybe he goes and directs Fantastic Four and comes back, but maybe he's done with Spider-Man. That's fine. But do you think that gives any possibility of Spider-Man is leaving the MCU, and maybe this is the swan song? Maybe that's why they're going so big and go home, because it's like, well, this is the last time we have Tom Holland for a while. Because it is interesting that the director is going to be leaving Spider-Man to go do Fantastic Four. Taylor, I'll start with you.
I don't know.
Right? It's interesting.
It is interesting, and it does make some sense. It's not something I probably ever would have put thought into it until you mentioned it. But I mean, so like, what is the outcome here that you're like anticipating?
that Spider-Man will no longer be with after these next two films. Tom Holland's done in the MCU.
Yeah, I think that makes complete sense. I think that'll be the
And I'm
end of
not saying
it,
that's
so.
what I think. I'm just saying that this gives that theory a little credence as far as, well, John Watts, you'd feel like might do for, and maybe he could just be like, no, I just honestly don't want to do a fourth Spider-Man. That's fine, but he clearly wants to still do MCU movies. MCU and Feige trust him. I just thought it was peculiar that out of everybody, he's up to bat for Fantastic Four. You know?
Yeah, no, I'm inclined to agree. I really do think that once everything kind of like concludes, then that's going to be it for Spidey in the MCU. Unfortunately, alongside other characters. So, I mean, again, whatever they need to do with the Spider-Verse stuff, they're going to try and do it now while they can. They're getting all the Spideys in on this. Make it big. So.
What about you, Kirkland? Do you think there's any chance that, or you think it's just just a coincidence and he's just switching projects up, maybe?
I like to think that there's always some possibilities for either which way. I definitely think it makes sense though what you guys are laying out, that this could be just a natural ending for Tom Holland's Spider-Man to be in this MCU stuff. I mean, all good things must come to an end. So, and I think them pulling out all these big ticket, I don't know, big ticket. Jeez, I'm getting tired. I trying to pick out
Big
words
tickets.
here.
Pulling out those big tickets.
Let's just say these big golden tickets that they're pulling out for this for this last movie of just bringing in all the Spideys throughout the multiverses and all this stuff. I think it makes sense if they know that this will be the end to really go out with a bang. So, but there's still a little spot in my heart that's hoping that he'll stick around, but realistically I feel like it makes sense that this will just be the end for that, specifically just for licensing. I know Sony and Marvel don't have the greatest relationship as of late, but yeah.
Well, it'll be interesting. Well, we did it. Till you have a question?
I have two things that I do want to shout out.
Sir, we have a virtual hand raised, so please use it.
Oh yeah, they did announce that they're doing a spin-off Cars series with.
Really?
Yeah.
This is what we're going to talk about?
Just putting that out there. With Lightning McQueen and Mater, but then they also announced that I Am Groot series. Travis, I'm surprised you didn't.
Yeah, I forgot
mention
about that. It's going to be
Yeah,
a bunch
so-
of. I don't think it's going to be anything big. It's just going to be a bunch of short films, but it'll be a bunch of short episodes. But hey, if you watched Forky on Disney Plus, it'll be some fun 2 to 3 minute content. It's cool.
Mhm.
It's not a full show, but it'll be fun.
It's cool.
Well, I will shout out. We did hit the 3-hour mark, so that's pretty legendary. We haven't done that in a while in Geekverse.
No, we not. Yeah, so I hope you got your. I was gonna say money's worth, but it's all for free, and that's why if you like what we do, please support us on Patreon. When we talked about Fantastic Four, when we talked about all the stuff that we might retro, we're gonna do that, and that's all gonna be on Patreon. 3 exclusive episodes. You get their monthly starting next month. You can get Howard the Duck right now. You can get Catwoman. You can get some Bond movies. You can get a bunch of stuff. So, yes, this was a great cast. I thank you guys for joining me. This was tons of fun.
Absolutely.
There was just so much to talk about, and we had a good time. But man, I can't wait to do what we do with Mandalorian and everything. That we're gonna be watching these and talking with these all together, and we got a fun couple of years in front of us to be talking about all this stuff. And it's a good time to be a geek. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. Good time to be a geek nerd, like you
Yeah.
call Taylor.
Yeah, good time to have those golden geek tickets. So. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you very much for tuning in, and we promise when you hear from us next, it'll not be boring.
Bye bye.
Later, Gators.